Welcome back to Digital Cortex. Today we have a special returning guest, Senator Ricky of the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, I love it when you do that voice.
I'm so happy to be in here.
It's so good. It's so good.
I've only had like 20 years of practice.
20 years of
23
practice.
years of practice. 25 now. Jeez.
And then
99.
99
is when the movie
came out, huh?
That was nobody was doing that stupid voice before that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it was definitely unique. But dude, people hated on it right away, right?
I love Jar Jar.
When I was watching the movie, it was fine. But there was a lot of like, maybe it was afterwards. Maybe it wasn't right away, but it was after.
It was like a week. Like maybe a week. They had one good week.
I know. Did you what do you think about the voice? You like the voice, right, Steve?
The Jar Jar voice?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I thought it was all right.
Were you one of the people like, why did it make him talk so dumb or something? You know, like I remember all the people.
No, because I didn't get into Star Wars until episode 3. So my introduction to Star Wars, I remember seeing parts of episode 1 when it finally aired on TV.
Oh wow.
And then
how did you know what was going on?
Well, because I had a friend who I would hang out at his house every so often, and his dad was an avid Star Wars fan. So they had like all the toys, like bins of the classic toys from when his dad was a kid, and new toys that they would buy.
Oh, there was tons of merch for episode 1. That's all
well, I'm talking like way before that.
Okay.
Like they had episode 4, 5, and 6 toys, and everything Star Wars, and then we would watch the Star Wars stuff all the time. We played the Star Wars video games, so I knew, and that's all we would do, would play with toys. He loved doing it, and we would go.
When I was a kid, I played with toys.
There's this collectible kind of like resale swap meet type place, and it's called Frankincense. I'm not sure if it's still operating, and it was in the Inland Empire, I think, in California. Okay. And so they would go all the time. I'd go with them, and there would just be people like trading, selling all different types of merchandise. So one day, he had all the VHSs for Star Wars, and he let me borrow all of them. So I was like, I'm going to get into this. So I sat down and I popped every single one in, and I had myself a Star Wars marathon, and I watched 4, 5, 6. And then I went back and rewatched 1 and 2. And then when 3 came out, I want to say in 8th grade at the time. So I was an 8th grader. And
it was 05.
We went to the premiere. So went to the midnight release, and I had gotten lightsabers. My lightsabers, I had 2 lightsabers. I remember everyone was there. We were like fighting lightsabers in the street with random people in the parking lots and stuff. It was a badass time, and every fucking theater in that multiplex was showing it.
Yeah.
So it was cool to, be that kind of experience I never had where you're in the theater and everyone is cheering or having the same emotions go through at the same time.
Yeah, they're yelling and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone's enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, and that was the perfect one to do that for, I think. Definitely.
I got that one time when we watched the 3rd Batman in Christopher Nolan series. And we got to watch the first one. Then we had an intermission. Then we watched the second one. And in between the first and second one, the theater was connected to the mall. So I went into the food court and I got a burrito. And then I brought the burrito back for the second one. And dude, I was eating it and I could hear people like, that's a good idea. Like they were all hungry. Everybody was hungry because we were going through the marathon, so we watched 2, and then right at midnight it ended, and we had an intermission. Then right at midnight, we watched the third one, and it was the same thing. Everyone's like, yeah, everyone's getting into it because you've watched the first 2, so now you're like so caught up if you ever forgot anything, and then you're watching the third one, and then it was cool just to watch the first one again, Batman Begins in theater because it had been so long. So I'm hoping they do that for Deadpool. I want to watch the first, second one, and then the new one. I keep seeing too much about the new Deadpool. I don't even want to talk about it.
I haven't seen anything. Just the Wolverine pictures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I seen him with the Wolverine suit.
I trust nothing. I don't think any of that's real at all.
It could be fake. Like, it could be like... I think the suit is real, though, because I did see Hugh Jackman fighting in it. So I know the yellow suit's coming back, but there's been so much other, like, little speculation about who's going to be in it and doing what that... every time I see the headline, I just kind of like swipe it. I'm like, throw it away. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I tend to try not to look into stuff like that either.
Yeah.
If anybody needs their levels, just let me know. As far as like what's in your headphones.
I'm just kidding.
No, I hope we see Wolverine in the suit because...
we're going to see it.
That's always been the thing.
No, I hope.
Missing from X-Men is they did not wear their costumes any.
I know. They wore black suits and they wore like alternate suits that they made up. And like, and then you got little flashes of the old one or they make a joke like, what do you want me to wear? A yellow suit or something?
Yellow spandex,
yeah.
Yes, I do. We put that on.
Actually, that's exactly
what we wanted.
It's exactly what everyone's...
You're not putting Batman in a t-shirt and like...
You got to see that Batman symbol on his chest. If you don't see it, you're like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So they're gonna put him in the yellow suit, but I want to see him slicing people in half. Like, that's what I've been waiting for. Like, dude, he has claws and we haven't seen him. Like, we've seen Deadpool just dismember the arms and legs of a guy, but we haven't seen like Wolverine really cut through somebody. Like the last movie they kind of did. Yeah, Logan they finally started.
That's when they put the R rating in.
Yeah. So we finally started seeing him cutting people up, but he has claws to kill people. What do you think he's gonna do? Like in all the X-Men movies, they would cut away when he would, or people would just flip when he would hit them, and it's like, dude, that's not a flipping move when he uppercuts you with the claw. Like, your head should come off or something, you know? Like,
I think like the coolest part with Hugh Jackman was on what's the last of the first X-Men one where he was with Phoenix.
Okay.
Where his skin's like coming off and it's peeling with the...
And it was Oscar Isaac was what's his name?
No.
Oh.
I guess it wasn't the last one. It was like the third of the first 3.
The first franchise.
What was it called?
I don't even remember all the X-Men names.
She finally turns into Dark Phoenix.
Oh, okay. They were still using...
Yeah, he's like has to kill her, and his skin's peeling. He's the only one I can get. That was the coolest part.
Oh, yeah.
I did not like those movies.
I didn't care for them either. I didn't really care for the X-Men movies until the rebooted franchise. Those
were a little bit better,
like Days of Future Past and whatever.
Oh, yeah, because what's his name?
First Class? Was it X-Men First Class? Yes. Or actually, I think before the first one that I really cared about was the standalone X-Men Wolverine movie.
Yeah, the Origins.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Origins was kind of cool. Claws. You saw him as a kid, and he's, he has a brother, but I don't know about Liev Schreiber being
was that with Deadpool?
Yeah, remember his mouth is... He
was Baraka from Mortal Kombat.
Not as cool.
That got weird. It got weird real fast. Like, he had laser eyes.
Like, what do you do with, like, the most fast-talking, funniest character? Don't make him speak.
Yeah.
Like, who thought of that?
Somebody found
that was a director move. Like, he's talking way too much.
Someone just did not like Ryan Reynolds.
Maybe they didn't want him to have so many lines or something. I don't know.
Budget cuts? I don't know.
I haven't seen the comics, so I don't even know if that's a real thing.
No, it wasn't. And then, like, his thing was like this long.
They had to come out of the arms.
Yeah, but it was longer than his arm.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense.
Where's that extra? It has to go somewhere.
Right.
It bends past his elbow.
Because like in the X-rays of like Wolverine, they showed that the blades were in there.
Yeah, and it actually goes through the knuckle.
Yeah.
Like there's actually like a plausible like way that they did it, but
Well, I guess semi, because like
your
I guess he
knuckles
wouldn't be able to rotate too much.
plus your knuckles would be wider apart
man.
too, because you would
Those
have.
blades would have to be like the same width of his, or else he'd just be cutting himself constantly, right? Inside his
I
arm.
heard if you guys ever weirded out. Okay, my wife pointed out like a long time ago that like your bones twist in your wrist and turn, and she told me that. I'm like, that's weird. I hate that. So that's like anytime someone does that, and I realize I'm like,
Good idea.
no. Or like that your bones are wet.
Oh, that they're wet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that they're just constantly wet. That's a good point.
That stuff's weird. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I don't know if you would call it wet.
It's
but
wet. You're constantly moist on the inside of your body.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
How is it not? They're not dry.
No.
But it's got like layers to it, so you have like an outer
moist.
layer and like
There's moisture in there.
and you have marrow. You have marrow going through your bones.
Yeah.
And if you ever ate like bone marrow, it's gooey jelliness, like so you have that through all your bones.
When it's cooked.
It's cooked.
When it's not cooked, it's more liquidy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it's like more like movable, but
It's more of a fluid.
Like I'm not squeamish, but like
it's got to be thicker.
knowing
though.
that my bones can move in weird directions in my body.
You think that?
Freaks me out.
Have you ever seen X-rays of like toddlers?
Oh yeah.
With their face, like dental X-rays? They have all their adult teeth in their jaw.
Yeah.
And so when they see it, you could see all that cavities of their jaw and everything.
Waiting.
You could see like two sets of teeth.
I was watching this documentary series recently. Have you guys heard of it? It's The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. It's this young girl who's got dwarfism, and she was adopted by this couple, and they start saying that she is a dangerous individual. She's trying to like kill them, and she's not really how old she is.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's kind of like the whole orphan story. And they legally got her age changed from, I think, like 8 to 22.
Wow.
Yeah, she has that condition that makes her look like a kid, and she was pretending to be.
Well, she's got dwarfism, but what they found out was they did a DNA test after this, in the docuseries and everything, and as a DNA test, she is actually not. She's closer to the actual age she's supposed to be, which right now, after all these years, is in her 20s, like 20, 21. And legally, though, because they had her age changed legally in the state, she's like 34, 30 something.
That's weird.
It's fucking
How do
crazy.
they not know her age?
And
She's like Yoda.
the thing is that they're accused of doing this for like this whole convoluted reason. Like they just couldn't take care of her because she needed a lot of medical attention and surgeries because she's got a really rare form of dwarfism. And so in the state that they're living in, you're responsible for a child up to the age of 22 legally. And so they thought, okay, well, if we get her, that's the idea, is that if they get her re-aged to 22, that they can get rid of her. And so they actually did buy her an apartment.
She's like 9.
Yes, that's fucking wild, bro. Wow. And so she's 9, and they put her in a fucking apartment complex. And so, like, as a 9-year-old, she's kind of bored. She doesn't know what to do. She's not going to school.
But wait, is she really 9?
Yes, at the time they did this. Biologically, yes, she is.
Okay.
When we look back at it, she actually was 9.
That's what I was gonna say. She has a birth certificate, so how could they do that?
Because she was a Ukrainian adoption. So they thought, okay, well, maybe it's possible that this happens sometimes, that they de-age the child by like a year or 2 to make them seem younger.
Can't they tell if like she went through puberty yet or anything?
They accused her of already going through puberty. They said like day one when they got her that she had full pubic hair and everything, which was wild, I guess. Or that, and apparently the mother is accused of like manipulating her. Like,
wait, why were they looking at her pubic hair?
Giving her a bath as a 6-year-old.
That's a little much.
When they adopted her and stuff,
But yeah,
and they needed to because she's
6.
She's disabled.
Oh, okay, so they had to help her.
She's disabled. Okay. She's got a rare form of dwarfism.
Because I was going to say, I mean, once they're 6,
was she like fully capable, functional? Like she could walk and do all the stuff, or was she?
Her legs are not fully developed properly, so she can walk, but she needs like crutches or a walker or wheelchair sometimes.
Arm crutches.
Yeah. So it's weird for her to walk and stuff. It's fucking wild. So the docuseries like starts you off showing you that all of this evidence that this couple has got against her, like they say that they've got medical records and stuff from doctors saying, oh, well, biologically she's this age and she should be re-aged and stuff. But then like as they dig deeper, it looks like the parents are lying. And then it gets wild and it starts flipping again.
Wow. So they did it.
It's a fucking crazy thing.
It sounds like they did. They found out she had this condition, and then they were like, "No, we're not doing this. We got to get rid of her."
It was too much trouble.
It also kind of seemed like the mother. She was like a public figure as far as like helping kids with autism, and her eldest son was apparently like a genius level IQ and stuff, and she had this. The way that they paint the picture of her is that she has this like complex, like, oh, he's a genius because I made him that, and I can take another child and do this as well. So they were just looking for.
So they pretty much have no business adopting anyone.
They really shouldn't have. Like they just fucked up this little girl's life. It's fucking crazy and wild. Insane. And then they have like fucking messages of like this mother trying to pimp out the kid when she was like 10, but legally they had her changed, so she's. Showing is like 23, 24.
What do you mean like pimping out though? Like
she tried to like set her up on dates and shit. But you got to remember, this is a child with a child mindset.
Yeah, are they
being told like one day you're 22, tell people you're 22. And the way that they apparently did this is like they would beat her.
Nice.
And they pepper sprayed her. The first time she pepper sprayed her, says, you're going to say what I tell you to say, or you're going to get pepper sprayed, and this is what it's going to feel like. And just fucking pepper sprayed her.
Wow. You watched this documentary?
Dude, it's the fucking wildest thing. I highly recommend you should check it out. Because it's fucking it's
can't
wild.
wait to the pepper spray part.
No, that's
fucked up, dude.
It is fucked up, bro. But I kid you not, you just can't stop. Like if you're watching this and you're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Once you're in it, you're stuck, but I don't know, man.
I'll stick with Tupac documentaries instead.
We're trying to find Tupac's killer, all right?
No,
I don't know if I can watch
that's the weird shit I've been watching. Yeah, my wife loves it. I guess that's her. She's the one.
She's like, I don't mind like murder stuff, but like if it's kids and stuff, I'm like, no, I check out.
It's tough. It's tough watching that stuff because it's fucked up.
It really happens, and like especially kids that get involved.
Yeah, when you have kids, you're like, dude, I could never do that.
It just feels so wrong.
It is. It feels wrong because
you just can't believe the stuff that happened, but God.
So wait,
and the documentary series, it just leaves you with so many questions. It was supposed to end in like 2 parts, but then some random piece of information comes out at the end of season 2 on it, and now they're like, oh fuck, we really still don't know any truths on this thing. It's still an ongoing case.
Wow. Sometimes they set it up though. Netflix will lead you down, because I watched a couple of their. I mean, I watched a lot of their documentaries. Definitely. They mislead you, and then at the end they're like, oh yeah, so we don't know, and it's like, dude, you could have just said that from the beginning, like led me to believe all these things about this killer or something. Or
if it's something that like you already know the story, what happens, like, and you're watching the Netflix thing, like you're like, why are they beating around the bush? They already know.
Or why they keep like trying to make it seem like this is the guy, and they know it's not because of this, and then they tell you, oh, there's DNA evidence that it's not the guy, and it's like, well, why did you spend a half an episode telling me it might be him? You know, it's like,
but then he was in Detroit, he was not there.
Yeah, and they do that here too.
He wore a size 11, and the killer was a size.
No foot, right?
He was missing one leg. It's like, dude, you could have told me that the information is. Yeah, so some of this they get you hooked, so you can. It's entertainment
at the end. Yeah, it's entertainment.
Yeah. But no, what I was going to say was, just to get back to Jar Jar, what do you think about...
He's no murder nobody.
What do you think about the Jar Jar I guess you say conspiracy.
Don't say it because we already talked about this and it was not a good.
No, but he's the guy to talk to about it.
We did this last time he was on, and he got mad. Yeah, we didn't try to bring it up. But we
brought it up, but we didn't actually get into it. We talked about it. I mean, you know, being a Sith. Like, what do you think? Because he does have some gnarly moves when they show all the evidence.
But he's never been able to use the Force. Like,
we haven't seen him use it, right?
We've seen him try.
But he's doing some Force moves, though.
The theory is that he does, like, these are Force moves.
But it's like 3PO and R2 doing it. Like,
I guess.
Some people, there's a theory that R2 has Force too, right?
It's in everything, so.
Yeah, so it could be in a robot because he does do, like, he's always in the right position and he's clunky, but he's also actually doing something, you know, like, so he is kind of playing the like comic relief like R2 is, and so is CP3O
well, if
too.
you watch the original one, they're super funny. Like, I've been on a weird kick of like watching people watching Star Wars for the first time on YouTube.
Oh, you can watch that?
Yeah. So it's like people that we've never watched before, so we're going to sit down. There's a YouTube channel, it's like Asian BJ. It's a couple. And they're watching all these movies. I don't know where they've lived for the past 20 years, but apparently they've never watched a movie. So, but they clearly did not know Star Wars because they were like getting everything wrong.
Steve's never seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I've
Which
seen
is crazy.
Parts
Isn't
of
it crazy?
Honestly, yeah.
Biscuit habits.
He has no idea. Dude, we gotta watch it one of these days. Like,
yeah, we should.
Because you're gonna be like, duh. Like, I'm into it, duh. Like, especially since you've seen.
I feel like, I would enjoy it, but at this point,
how much did they take from?
It's just so long.
What is it, Game of Thrones? How much did Game of Thrones take from like Lord of the Rings? Like, it's kind of.
Nah, I wouldn't compare to that.
But I'm saying it's the dragons.
Lord of the Rings is more fantasy, where Game of Thrones is a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Well, so is Lord of the Rings. There's drama.
It's just drama set in fantasy.
But I'm saying
Lord of the Rings is like pure fantasy.
There's
wizards. You gotta see it. You gotta see it because there's similar stuff. There's a similar world.
Dragons, elves, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a similar world, and Lord of the Rings came out before. There would be no Game of Thrones.
There's a huge backstory.
Really well done. So yeah, those are worth watching.
And then The Hobbit.
I haven't watched all those yet.
You haven't seen The Hobbit?
I saw the first and I think the second one, but I don't think I watched the third one. I remember the dragon on the second one, but I don't remember.
So have you seen the TV show then?
I started watching the show. It was really dumb.
What is that on?
It's on Amazon. Oh, okay. They put the money into it, and you can see it visually. Like Echo, dude. Did you guys watch the first?
Oh, I'm on the third episode.
I have not checked it out yet.
It's super awesome.
Like, we won't get into it then.
Yeah.
I will finish the first episode, but the first episode was crazy, right?
The first episode was crazy. And the second one was good. Yeah.
This is where you got to watch it. You got to watch it on Disney if you're going to watch it because they have the HDR. So
you'll get Hulu too, right?
Yeah, it's on Hulu, but I don't know if you get the same resolution on Hulu.
Probably
I don't think there's any commercials, but well, I guess it depends on what subscription you have. But
plan.
Disney, dude, their streaming HD is good.
Oh yeah,
it looks awesome, and you need it for the very beginning too, because the very beginning is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But dude, the lights and everything pop on it, like it's really. Dude, the girl's a badass.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I don't know where the fuck they found this girl. Like she's awesome.
Isn't it the same person who was in the? Yeah.
No, I mean, not to spoil, but like pretty much the first episode is recapping every other scene from
everything
Hawkeye.
In the background of her?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the actress they picked for it,
she's really good.
She's really good.
Maya, yeah.
She's put the work in. She looks legit, like fighting wise. You never feel that moment. Like sometimes with women, especially like especially when they're smaller, you're like they can't do that move, or like there's no way, like you just see certain things. When you see her fighting, you're like everything she does, you're like, oh yeah, that's possible. She could do that. She could punch. She could kick.
I heard it was a big thing too because she's it's an indigenous character, right?
She's native.
Yeah.
So they go into a whole little backstory about that, but. She's just a great actress too, and she doesn't have any lines.
No, because she's mute.
Yeah. So all of it's facial expression.
It's all ASL,
which is great,
and she does awesome job. Like I haven't seen episode 2 or 3, but Yeah, from the very beginning, dude, she's very emotionally, like you look at her face and she's telling a story just by her expressions and everything. Like you can see the drama, you can see the anger, you can see that like...
Yeah, it's something we definitely want to sit down and watch.
It's only like 5 episodes, right?
Yeah, they released all of the season, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you watched any more What If?
No, just the first episode.
I just watched the first one too.
The first one was pretty good.
The whole series is great, man.
Yeah, you were telling me about the different episodes, but I like the animation, the way they did that animation. It's different. They set themselves apart. You could tell, like, it's almost like...
It's a cell shading, right?
I don't know what they did, but...
And it's world building because it still is part of the MCU.
Yeah. Did you... have you ever seen Scanner Darkly?
Oh, parts of it. Never watched the whole thing.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But they did a crazy animation with that. Like, it was like a live action animation where they, like, recorded them and then...
They put a filter over
added
it.
It,
did the animation over the actors. So it makes them...
That was really big at a certain point.
Yeah. That's a cool movie, too, visually. Robert Downey's in it.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. It's just crazy. Like when they're like, I don't know. I'm shaking the table, but yeah, there's just
shake like this, man.
I know. I went like this. I was like,
don't shake the table. You already hit the camera once.
Did I?
Yeah.
When?
Earlier.
Oh, okay. But while we were recording?
Yeah.
You gotta do like
I was like, let me check to see if it... Oh, I can't see nothing.
Do you want to check real quick?
I can't.
Do the Tuscan Raiders.
I guess I could...
Put it in the air.
Come on. Hey.
I could throw it on this side because the side is...
You can't see that side?
No, we're still good.
Oh, yeah. You can't see it. I'm looking at your screen. Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not low. You guys can hear me.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want to be higher?
And then by the time I go and reprocess it, it's just that mic is picking up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good at doing what it does.
So you lower the levels a little bit?
I did. I lowered it a bit because this way there's a
less filtering.
There'll be a definition between his audio and yours.
Ah, okay.
Because we get picked up on all 3 mics regardless.
Surround sound.
Yeah. But by the time I sync it all, we'll never notice.
Oh, so yeah, we never talked about it, dude. What do you think? Do you think it's possible?
Highly unlikely.
Yeah, because they never explored it. I mean, they never did anything.
Plus, I don't think Palpatine would have had anybody over him.
You don't think he was...
No, he was too...
Because that's the speculation, right? That he was over Palpatine? Or that...
I mean, it would have had to have been.
Because he wouldn't have been the apprentice? He can't have more than one apprentice.
And it also breaks the rule of 2 and all that stuff. And
yeah, they're very strict with that.
Not really.
Well, I guess you're right. Yeah. Because when you go and you look back at the like the animation and like Clone Wars, there was always multiple
Didn't
people
Anakin have more than one?
Well, he was an Sith, but...
Well, did they make...
Dooku had Ventress.
What do they call that guy? His apprentice.
Oh, in the video game?
Yeah. Did they make that canon?
No. Starkiller's not.
Starkiller's not canon.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Those games are awesome.
But he did have... Really overpowered. Did he didn't train any of the Inquisitors, did he?
He, according to the books, he was in charge of them. And to test them, he would basically chop off their arms and legs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It was like if Vader stepped in when you were training, then you knew somebody was losing a limb.
Okay.
Yeah. So then he'd like, oh, you think you're good? Then, he'd, make easy work of them. And
well, that's like the theory of why Palpatine put Vader in this suit, right? Because like he's constantly in pain, and the idea is to weaken his connection with the Force.
He could never be fully like 100% the greatest Sith ever because he's limited in the suit too.
Mm-hmm.
So the suit limits his powers?
He can't do Force lightning.
Yes.
He'd get electrocuted.
That's why they did that.
Yeah, that's the... Because, I mean, think about it. They have all this technology already. They could pretty much rebuild his body if they wanted to properly. But instead, they pretty much lock him down in this heavy-ass fucking suit.
I thought it was keeping him alive.
The only way, it keeps him alive, but there could be other ways to keep him alive. They've got these fucking tanks to help restore tissue and shit.
Yeah.
But the only way, like, that's why we see him in those little, like, pods. where he'll like
That's
take
where
off
he
his
rests.
helmet. Yeah, he rests in there because he can isolate himself.
It's like a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah.
And so
He's like recharging.
So just give infection. Well, he has to charge the suit, I would assume. Right?
Yeah, so he's recharging.
The buttons and everything. And
I guess the idea is that Palpatine has put him in this suit so that
In his
not
weaker
only
state.
physically limits him, but because of that, he has to use the Force to help himself move in this suit and
it's
help
heavy.
himself avoid succumbing to the constant pain that he's in. Because all of this is just really weakening him down so that he can never become strong in himself.
he can always just go bloop, 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 and then he shuts down.
Right.
Yeah, and then he's.
With the button right there.
Greetings, Lord
It
Vader.
also sounds like because he's weaker, he's also more controlable.
And he can hear him
he can
coming.
control.
Yeah, and that's the idea.
He can hear him coming down the hallway as he tries to sneak in.
Yeah. He's like, he's coming. Lord Vader is coming.
It's just funny because they did General Grievous kind of a mirror to that. Because he was
pretty
like,
much.
but a step beyond that because he was only like a brain and eyeballs.
Well, he had
By that
lungs
time,
too.
Yeah.
Because remember, he's like, he's always coughing and shit.
Yeah, I
like
forget
iron
why they. There was some history on
Yeah,
exactly
he
why,
did that
because he didn't
himself.
used to be like that.
No.
Of course, yeah. There had to have been some kind of explosion or
It was
something.
upgrades for him, basically.
Yes,
Oh, and
because
more arms.
his race is like a natural race, so with
The
biological and
blood
everything.
race or something.
Yeah, they kind of did look like praying mantises or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. The way he had his arms and everything, and like,
And he was in charge of some form of like militia or something at that point.
Because there's an episode where they go to his lair and you can see the statue of him before he turned. And it's in the background.
so
It's
wait,
pretty awesome.
does Chewbacca have Force?
No.
No, he's not Force at all.
There's
Well, it's a living thing that surrounds him.
yeah, so everybody has the Force,
But I'm saying
if you're sensitive to the Force, then you can reach out and utilize it.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't use any
No.
Force.
And a good example of this is the show or the movie Rebel One, right?
Rogue One.
Rogue One, because they have that character, the blind character.
Jarrett.
He is using the Force, though, isn't he?
He
He's
is
just like a weak
a
version.
Force worshiper, so he might be able to tap in a bit to it and trust
Yeah.
it, but he's not a Force wielder
Yeah, yeah.
the same way.
Potentially, he could have.
He could.
It maybe
It's
if he
possible.
had whatever, not a apprentice,
Well, and that
but
was
if
the
he had
problem with the
whatever.
prequels. Like, they did a blood test on you. Like, okay, you're good enough. Come train. If you didn't meet the criteria, then like, nope, go back home.
You're,
And that's kind of what he was. He wasn't like, in the top percentile.
Yeah,
But
so
he
he
had
was
some.
sensitive to it, but he wasn't sensitive enough.
Your mitochondrials or
Mitochondria.
wait, no, not mitochondria. What is it?
Midichlorians.
Midichlorians. Yes, there you go.
It's meta.
I was closer.
Like a MIDI keyboard.
There you go.
So wait, what if they did what if with Star Wars? What would be an episode? Would you do like a Chewbacca as Darth Vader? I'm just kidding.
What if,
Well, what if there is a Wookiee that is
Dark.
practices in the dark side?
Oh,
What if there wasn't
yeah.
that rule of two?
They should do a what if. That would be
There's
cool.
Wookiee Jedis.
Are there?
Yes, there has been a Wookiee Jedi. I remember in the Clone Wars they did show a youngling who was a Wookiee.
And he came
And he
back
had
in
a
Bad Batch too.
He had a
Oh, did he? I
lightsaber.
haven't.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Season 2, I think.
I didn't watch season 2 yet. I only watched season 1.
And in the new books, the High Republic, there's a Jedi called Buryaga. He's
That's right. I
He's a
do
Wookiee,
remember reading that first book
he's
of the High
awesome.
Republic,
Yeah, he's awesome.
but I didn't finish it.
Well, then if there's one that has as part of the what is it, the good guys? What the fuck are they? If they're the Jedi, there has to be a Sith,
It
right?
could be ancient times. It could be an ancient Wookiee.
Yeah, because there has whatever. It's a yin
But see,
and
that's
the
the
yang.
thing. It's not
right?
always just Jedi and Sith. Because if we look at like what the fuck those sisters of Dagomar,
The Night Sisters.
the Night Sisters, they are Force wielders,
But they're witches.
but they're witches. So they're calling it like magic, but they're still using the Force, and they've used it to like empower people and bring people back from the dead, like zombies.
Do you remember that Doctor Who episode with King James? And he's like, she's a witch.
King James is a witch.
Remember? He kept calling everybody a witch. It was Nightcrawler from X-Men that was playing. But every time he would like accuse
I don't know, what
somebody,
doctor was that?
Capaldi?
Capaldi? Oh, Capaldi's a blur to me.
Every time he saw somebody, she's like, she's a witch. And he'd say it all weird. So every time I hear a witch now.
So you should know.
Capaldi's season was a little different.
I'm sure it was Capaldi. No, it wasn't. It was last one. It was Jody.
It was Jody?
Yeah, it was Jody. That's right. It was Jody.
Come on, Steve. You got it.
Because he thought she was a witch.
That's right. I remember now. Yep. Okay. Got it.
Which I looked him up, and that was a true
season
story.
I binged real quick just so I can get the storyline to get into what David Tennant. Have you watched the specials?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Whitaker deserves a rewatch. But yeah, I like them. They're good. Yeah, I like the new Doctor. Yeah.
I like the new Doctor too. I think it was fun to see, like, you know, they kind of what everybody had assumed, and they finally just outright said it. Yeah. You know, the Doctor is like pansexual.
I like the progression of when you see Eccleston, if you start watching it, and how like alien and foreign he is, and now you get to the point where like he got a little bit more human with Tennant, and then
that's
he
what
got a little bit more human with all of them. So, and with Jodie, so now he's like dancing in the club. You know?
I like watching it from like when we got to the 50th anniversary, because this was 60th anniversary.
Yeah, 60.
So in the 50th anniversary 10 years ago,
was that the War Doctor one?
They introduced the War Doctor, but they actually bridged the gap because we had Doctor number 8 who just appeared in that one movie. Yeah. But technically, he did the Doctor the longest because he has all the audio stuff. Mm-hmm. But they did this short, like 6-minute clip of showing his regeneration to the War Doctor and him having to fight in the war, and that type of will to, you know, regenerate into a Doctor that could be like this warrior. Essentially, is how we got the War Doctor, and that progression of seeing this time war and the effect that it had on them. And when we get to that episode when the War Doctor is like, "What have you become?" We have one that's you know, he's talking to Tennant and to Smith. Yeah. How Tennant is so fixated with holding that baggage of it all that.
The guilt and the blame.
The guilt, the blame, the fury of it all. Mm-hmm. But then Smith has the want to forget that it even happened type of mentality. Yeah. And to see them being called out on it like that on that emotional level, I thought was just so awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So, what I don't know if I really enjoyed, and I don't know if maybe they've mentioned this before or they just came up with it on the spot, was the whole idea of bi-generation.
That was new.
Yeah. And so I don't know if I loved it.
And that was part of, what was his name? The trickster? The jokester? Not the trickster. That's on the Flash.
Oh, the toy master.
The toy maker. Yeah.
Toy maker.
The toy maker. Yeah. That was all because of him.
Toy Story.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like,
it was part of his trick. And so they used like his power, and that's why that happened. Because he lost the game.
I guess that flew right over my head.
Yeah. So had they not, it wouldn't have happened. If it wasn't the toy master or toy maker or whatever doing everything.
And then so for him to settle down though and have that moment, that's the thing that bothers me.
Again,
because we had it's like for the third time actually, if we think about it. So we had Tennant leave a human portion of himself who could age and everything in a whole different reality with Rose. All right. So he already has that opportunity in a way. And then after his regeneration and everything, like, because this is where I'm lost, because he used the regeneration to put into a hand. Mm-hmm. So technically we should be one number above where we are. Because we went Capaldi is 11. No, Capaldi is 12. And then Jodie 13. And then, what is his name? How do you... The actor? The new one.
Charles. David.
No, it's some... I can't pronounce his name. It starts with an N.
William.
I don't know. But anyway, he's considered the 14th Doctor. But it's the actual 15th regeneration?
Nolan?
Or 16th.
But I wouldn't consider the alternate universe Tennant.
No, but he used a regeneration to put into his hand. Remember, he kept the hand, and then he shoved the regeneration to the hand.
Well,
we had the War Doctor regeneration, so we're 2 ahead of the number that we're supposed to be at.
Yeah, because he regenerated when he got killed on the beach by a river, right? When he got shot.
That was like... So they said that was a... Remember how they were like robot and he was a little inside of it or something? They had a clone made or something like that.
I gotta rewatch that one again.
Yeah, that was weird.
It, but I don't remember.
I just realized that I did it right into your camera.
That's a smoke effect.
It's getting smoky.
So like I'm starting to get lost in all the regenerations and all the things that are happening. And then I just keep thinking back, like the Doctor could never settle down because him living so long
and slow, he was always like at the table. Like I gotta
he needs to be constantly moving because everything else is happening too much for him. And if you really think about that, a being that could literally be alive for what looks like now thousands of years. Because how many years did Capaldi spend being tortured?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember, because he was like looking at the sky. He's like, the stars aren't right.
It's like 10,000.
They're not right,
or something like that.
But I don't know this galaxy or wherever I'm at looking at the stars. And he's like, it's because the stars moved. So this guy's like thousands and thousands of years old. To be living the rest of your life with the humans is like what? Was it a week or two in comparison to us?
Was it Matt Smith that had the episodes with the baby and he could talk to the baby? And
yes,
he had him watching the baby and he could not sit still on the couch. He's like, "What are we doing? I gotta go do something."
No, so that episode was when the blocks showed up.
Yeah.
So they were staring at the blocks. Yeah, the little blocks would show up and they couldn't figure out what the blocks were for.
That was Amy and Rory, right?
Yeah, it was during the Amy and Rory thing, which is a whole other confusing thing about his because that makes their daughter his wife.
Yeah. Well, and then he also, when he spent like how many years with her? 20, 10 or 15 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
When they had dinner and they stayed there for a while until it was time to go.
Mm-hmm.
So he can settle down.
But the whole point was that he didn't like to. Like, he's constantly moving and roaming. You know, like, being stuck in one place. I mean, after you've seen it all, though, I guess.
He's kind of becoming more and more human. And then they're like, you save the world all the time, but you never get to enjoy it. Like, so take a break. You know?
It's just such a... I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this season, just because I want to see more of... But then they do the same... They clone the TARDIS, too?
Well, it gives them an open way to like have a separate show or do specials with Tennant. So.
I guess that's true. They could continue bringing him back, which is nice and all. I really love Tennant, and I really felt that his Doctor, even though he didn't play it the same, which I think was perfect. It wasn't necessarily the same. It was the same face, but slightly different in the personality and who he was.
Which, do you remember the episode where, I think it was Capaldi, was it? Or was it Joe? I don't know. They went to a museum, and then it was one of the older doctors that was the curator of the museum.
Matt Smith.
No, was it Matt Smith?
Yeah, that was during the
no, they used
50th.
The, what's his name?
Well, it was Matt Smith who was there, and I
forgot his name.
Barker, the fourth Doctor.
Scarf guy, right?
Yeah.
Sicario.
He was there as the curator, and he was like,
see, so he reused the face.
Like, you'll find that you reuse some faces, and he's like, am I you or you me? And he's like, who knows?
There was another Doctor. There was the lady with Jodie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which that was weird to me too.
Yeah. So she was around with the dog guy. I love that dog guy.
And did we ever get like a real conclusion to the what was it, the Lonely Child one?
Yeah, there was the Timeless Child one.
You
gotta rewatch them.
I feel like I have to, but like I used to religiously watch Doctor Who. Like I could literally say
HBO Max or Max, I guess.
Oh, I've got everything. Yeah. So
I've got
no, they're all on Disney now.
No? They only have the specials, the new ones on Disney.
I heard that Disney just opened up an entire category for Doctor Who now.
Did they?
But I don't know what's in it because I don't have Disney.
You said you had everything.
They're going to combine...
I have everything, but I do it in a different way.
Well, they're going to combine Disney and Hulu.
It already is on there.
No, I'm saying like they're going to get rid of Disney Plus.
It's going to be one app for Hulu, Disney, and ESPN now.
That's how it is on England.
Yeah, they already started it that way.
Yeah, they're beta testing it in some markets, and they're trying to work out the kinks.
I can watch Hulu on Disney Plus now. There's a whole little.
They're
section.
slowly putting all the because Echo's on both. Like they're slowly just putting all the content, but they're trying to figure out how to parental control everything because like kids are going to have access to rated R.
When they implemented that like a couple weeks ago, I had to go and find my password and do the parental things on my PC because it wouldn't let me log to my profile in the app because mine was the 18 and up whatever rating. So I had to approve to be able to have Hulu on there. So there's a whole, like it says Marvel and Star Wars, it says Hulu now. There's another section. And everything from Hulu's on there. So I can watch like different movies that are rated R and stuff on there.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just hope they have the same quality because Disney Plus is better. It's a better app and it's cleaner and it's really crisp. Like especially when you watch like their
So what
movies.
I get is that they should just take the content and just throw it into the one service and let it work the way whatever service works the best for them.
Well, and like HBO Max or Max, you have to like pay for 4K. You can't, and Netflix too. You have to have a different tier.
Yeah.
So I think Disney's it's all the same, no matter what you watch.
There's only one tier, but it's going to be interesting how they're going to do it because Disney has all the Marvel stuff, all the Pixar. You know, they have all those movies, but they license out some of their movies to like TNT or like FX or like
always they were showing Star Wars on TNT.
I guess that's the thing. It's
so like when you click on the movie, are you going to watch the TNT one that's been cut with commercials in between, or are you going to watch the real cut?
Well, it's like that with Harry Potter. Like it's on Peacock and it's on Max.
Yeah,
it looks like awful on Peacock and there's commercials. So.
HBO, another one. I like their app. They have a really good, clean. Their movies are HD, and then the other one I'll say is that it's good is Apple. Apple has a really good.
I tried that. I had a free trial. I watched like the Beastie Boys documentary, and that was it. I couldn't find anything else I wanted to watch.
There was some really good stuff on Apple.
They have some good shows. They're nominated.
Maybe now. It was like when it first started.
I think Silo's on Apple. Silo's good. Severance is really good. It's a trippy one.
Yeah, there's some good shows. There's the one with what the heck is his name?
The Tom Hanks movie or show or something with the robot? Is that one on there?
There's a Tom Hanks one, but there's also the Harrison Ford and what the heck is this dude's name? The dude that did Forgetting Sharon Marshall. What the heck is his name? Tall guy.
Oh, Jason Segel.
Yeah, Jason Segel.
Yeah, he's also in that show, and that's a really good one. I can't think of the name right now.
That's the one with the therapist, right?
Is that puppets in it?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that one. But then they have the Jason Sudeikis, the soccer one.
Isn't that on Hulu?
That's on
No, that's an Apple thing. It's Ted Lasso.
Everybody loved that
Ted
show.
Lasso's so good.
It's good.
Have you seen it?
No, I don't have Apple.
I'm on the second season. I got to finish the second season, but
I'm still trying to get through Cobra Kai.
They have
Cobra Kai. I don't think I am caught up.
No, I need to watch this.
What is it on now?
The most recent one is the one I haven't.
Yeah, that's the same.
I was watching it when it was on YouTube Red. Yeah, it was our YouTube Red.
YouTube's trying to come back, dude. They have live sports now.
Well, they're integrating everything too. Like they've moved their Google Podcasts to YouTube Music, and
they got rid of Google Podcasts. I saw that. But yeah, these apps are stepping it up, and I like it, like the functionality of Apple when you're going through and trying to see different, like just the way it's seamless. Like I don't know if you've seen that, but when you go to the next movie, like it's the whole background and like it starts previewing it with the words.
It's gotta look nice.
Apple's always been about the look. Like people love the sleekness, the cleanness. Like they want that. Like if you want to look at like what apps are going to look like in the future, that's what Apple's app looks like. So I like that part. I think they do really good on their style of
that was kind of the annoying thing with when Doctor Who was coming out, the specials on Disney Plus. It had giant picture of Donna, giant picture of that alien, giant picture, like you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, like the preview pictures of it all.
It's like spoilers.
I hate
Stop spoiling. I'm going to watch
spoilers.
it. Yeah.
I just hear, what's her name in it?
River.
I miss those characters.
They're right there on Max. You can watch them.
Yeah. Those are my favorite ones, were those.
Are you my mommy?
The Tennant run and the Smith run.
Did you
in that order.
You watched Torchwood, right? Or did you not watch it?
I did watch
I love that show.
some of Torchwood. I don't know if I finished
The last season was terrible,
Torchwood.
but yeah, it was a good show. I like Captain Jack. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Jack
He was
Sparrow.
great.
I saw him in person once at the Comic-Con here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was signing
That guy's
autographs.
great. I liked him, too, when he was in Arrow.
Him and Bruce Campbell were right next to each other with booths. And
Oh, sick.
Bruce Campbell's security was telling everybody, no phones, no pictures, and shouting at people.
Did they
That's
really try to
rude.
control?
He was trying, yeah.
How can you stop people from
I was like,
recording?
screw Bruce
Come
Campbell.
on.
He's not that famous,
That's
man.
what we're going there for.
Because they wanted to charge for their video and pictures. That's
Like, I didn't
what
want
it
to take a
is.
picture of you anyway.
Yeah,
There's
especially
only
when
one Ash and he has Pokemon.
if you act like a dick. Like, I can understand if he's standing next to you and you're taking the picture, like this is how much it costs.
If it was me, I would take pictures. I don't care.
But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that do it
people
for free.
like with phones up, they're like, put your phone away. They were doing that. Yeah. Like near the booth, not even in line, just people like
Yeah,
walking by.
no, like, dude, you're not gonna stop me. I'm not even in line. You know, like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. There's people with the sticks too that try to get real close and everything.
I also saw Burt Ward and Adam West. Like at one, I think it was at the same one actually. They were signing autographs.
Adam West is still alive, right?
No,
he died.
No, this is
That's
before.
right.
This
That's
was
right.
years ago. Yeah.
The original.
I haven't gone
Batman.
to Phoenix Comic Con in a while.
Have you watched Rebel Moon?
No,
I haven't either, but I want to.
I do not intend to.
How,
You don't intend to. Why not?
Whoa.
I don't like Zack Snyder movies.
Whoa.
Interesting. I mean, you know,
Holy
like,
shit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
the history of this movie.
It's the GoBots version
How
of
are
Star
you not
Wars.
gonna watch it though? You have to watch it in spite, almost like.
See, and I don't like doing
I
that.
think
but-
it's interesting. Like, I want to see more of these filmmakers
And then
who.
he said, like, now, that's not my original version. I have a director's cut. Like, you're the director. How can there be another
That's
cut?
right.
They
That's
make-
the thing.
they make you cut it down,
They
though.
made him
There's a
cut it.
it's a rated R version. It's a whole different story. I'm like, then it's another movie. It's not a director's
And they
cut.
did
then.
that on purpose so that they can release it
His
again.
shtick is getting old. Like, oh, well, you
They
didn't
already have a
then.
planned release date for the director's
When
cut.
somebody doesn't like his movie, oh, that wasn't my final vision. I have another one. We're going to come out with it later.
I like that they can fix everything because if you
I
watch,
like that too, but he kind of does it because of fan reactions and people not liking it.
hey, if it fixes all the bad stuff, I say do it because I liked the Snyder cut of. I did not like it. I liked all the things they fixed because the suit was clunky and dumb. The whole situation about
like
how they got into the secure area. Like, remember how it was supposed to be a very secured where they were keeping the the Tesseract or no, the Tesseract is Marvel. The whatever the fuck the mother box or whatever. Like they kept it in the secure. It's supposed to be secure underground. Like you have to hit the wood to drop the doors down there. But then when they were getting chased, he just went out the side of the wall. Like it was like dumb. Like so you mean you could have just broke through the side of the wall the whole time? You didn't even have to go through the entrance. Like they fixed a lot of that stuff because then it collapsed all the way down into the canyon and like in the suit they redid and some of the lines they redid and the story
and the characters.
Some of they added cut parts that they had. They added all the cyborg.
There's a whole difference.
But there's
you see the characters differently.
Well, you didn't even know about cyborg.
There's like no way that movie could have been made before the original one. Like he did all that stuff he added in because it was all feedback.
Yeah,
so
that's
what kind of irks me with him is like
that's true.
If you do it the first time like that, then yeah, that's awesome. I wish that would have came out.
It's like the remix,
but that
man.
was never gonna happen.
It's Diddy's remix,
He's the
man.
Puff Daddy of movies.
I Want a Girl's remix is way better than the original.
You know what I still want? I want that girl.
He talks about bad girls so much.
I want it. They finished the movie. They just didn't release it.
But that means it sucks, though.
That's not necessarily true.
It could be. Somebody watched it and said, we cannot put this out.
Somebody didn't know what the fuck they were doing, which is why they ended up replacing them.
I've seen enough DC movies and know they probably did.
Dude, they probably sat down and watched it. They're like, this is the dumbest thing I've seen. Why'd you do this?
I still want to see it. Knowing that it's out there, I want to see it.
It probably wasn't bad. Well, supposedly they burned it, but
there's supposed to be
bullshit.
But see, and I like Shazam. I haven't watched Black Adam yet, but I think DC has a problem of trying to be not Marvel and trying to be too serious. So you can't have something like a campy kind of Batman or Batgirl come out because it's not gonna work.
She's like,
unless you have like different multiverses and different kinds. But
which you could do that. I mean,
but they have.
They started trying to do that when they did the Joker, and then they did the Batman.
Was terrible.
Dude, there's supposed to be a.
It's different.
There's supposed to be an Ayers cut of Suicide Squad that they want to do. They teased it for a while.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad was really good.
Yeah, the second one. The second one with
John Cena.
I can't think of the goddamn director right now. I don't know why I'm
James
blanking.
Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. The James Gunn one was good, but Ayers said he has a cut that he has where you see Joker's story. Because you remember how they kind of just quickly, gave him.
But I don't want that Joker story.
Yeah, I don't care for that either now. I mean, I know that's a comic accurate.
They can
Joker.
They
but
can
it's
fix
not
it.
the one I care about.
Not the look, though. I mean,
no, that look is in the comics, but it's a different comic of Joker. It's the more gangster one.
And he had a slow laugh.
And they skipped over the whole killing what's his name, Drake, the other Robin. Like that was kind of.
Oh yeah, the Red Hood one.
Yeah. So those are good stories. Why did they do that? And I don't like that they didn't really do Batman. So
honestly, for DC, some of the best things is just always going to be the animated films that they've done. They're just.
Oh, Joker was good.
Joker was good as far as it
part
being
2 is going to be good.
A movie, but not
as a DC
comic book movie. It was a good movie because it dealt with the psychological issues of the character and showed that progression and had that.
But he wasn't the Joker.
But it wasn't what we want from the comic
Joker,
books.
the purple and the white face and everything. Yeah, that's what you think of.
Yeah, it's
not a dude in his underwear dancing.
Hey man, he had some moves, man. You know how many people still go to that stairwell in New York, the one that he danced on?
Yeah, they have more fun doing that than actually watching the movie.
Yeah, there's people that come all around the world just to come to that stairwell, and it's pretty.
And then
it's iconic. He made iconic scenes.
In a bad neighborhood too. People are like, why are all these tourists coming?
Oh, it doesn't work for the storyline of Batman either because he's way too old to be.
Knowing his dad and all that stuff.
Right. You know what they should do is they should make a Batman Beyond movie.
I would have loved if they did that.
I heard there's a pretty anticipated fan-based one coming out. They released a trailer and they got a GoFundMe.
Well, they're working on the second Matt Reeves Batman with
the Batman.
Well, they have that Penguin show coming out now too.
Yeah,
and then with all the publicity that what's his name, something Keoghan.
Yeah, Barry Keoghan.
Because he played the Joker in the first one. Yeah, but uncredited.
Yeah, they had a deleted scene.
Yes, and
he's going to be in the next one.
That was the idea, especially because of. Have you guys seen Saltburn?
No.
They my God.
He was nominated, right?
That movie is the fucking craziest movie.
The way they described it at the Emmys, they were making fun of it, and they were like,
we watched
they're like, it's a story that tells you that even demonic people have dysfunctional family.
Dude, that movie, it has you watching it, and you're just like, oh my God, that's not happening. It's so disturbing, but you just can't take your eyes away. It's watch it. I don't even want to tell you anything about it.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's so good.
It's on my list.
So good. That one and
it's gonna be freaky though. And then you got full frontal on what's his face. On Keegan.
Yes. So, who knows if that's prosthetic? They do that a lot now.
It wasn't.
No.
He confirmed that was
shit.
him. He said, "Oh shit." He said, that was funny. He's all good on him. Good on him.
That's how you get nominated for a Golden Globe.
Well, Joe Coy brought it up too. He was like,
"Gosh, he bombed so hard."
Well, that was the thing on Twitter. But I watched it.
I like Joe Coy, but
I watched it, and it wasn't as bad as they hyped it up.
It was
like they really tried to make it sound like he was just bombing hard, but It was fine. I mean, it's an award show. He's trying to poke fun.
They're having fun.
Yeah. The only thing that you could say is
expected.
Sometimes he lacked confidence. Like he did a couple of.
Then he blamed the writers.
Yeah, that's the thing that people are getting him on. So you can't ever show.
We should have Cat Williams host it.
Now for sure, dude. But Cat won't do it.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't like
insult everybody there.
But he did that thing where he's like, "Well, I wrote some of these and some of these I didn't." There was writers, and he in between when he thought he was kind of bombing, you know. Like,
right.
So
I mean, and I like him.
That's what people fed on. They were like, "Oh,
I didn't watch
bombing.
any of the word show.
You gotta watch it.
Why did we watch?
There was, dude. Remember I told you Oppenheimer was good. How many awards did they win?
They got the main one, didn't
they? They got.
It was just fun.
Robert Downey won one. Cillian Murphy won Best Actor. Christopher Nolan won Best Director, and Oppenheimer won Best Movie.
Damn.
And they won Best Score.
I gotta sit down and watch it.
That was the fun thing, watching it and be like, "There's Scarecrow. Oh, there's Mandalorian." I was just pointing everybody from Marvel all there. I'm like, it was cool.
There was a lot of people there.
The other movie
Everyone
that
in
should
there
be
was
watched
from a Marvel movie.
is The Holdovers. Have you seen that one?
That's with
I heard about that one too.
With that new kid,
the teacher
and
everything.
and what's his name? Jeez, what's that dude's name?
Paul Giamatti.
Paul. Yeah.
He won.
Who was Rhino?
He won for.
Yes. He won. Damn, you're good with those.
He won for Holdovers.
Yeah, that was good. And that kid is never his first time. Like I read his story. Like they were just auditioning people in this campus, and
Wow.
he accidentally got into drama because he was doing. I think he was like playing football or something, hurt his back, couldn't play anymore. And so he was like, well, I'll just do this. Caught the bug, got into it, took an opportunity when he was there to audition in his town. And so they just fucking said, yeah, that's you. We're doing it. And he did such a good job. Natural talent. Guy's good.
What's
It's a good movie. It's like a coming of age story.
Okay. It's about a high school teacher, right, or something, a principal or coach or whatever.
It's a high school
and then they
teacher
get murdered
at a preparatory school.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti.
Rich people.
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah. And
but he's a great actor.
And the weirdest fucking thing is the lazy eye in that one. Oh, it's so weird. He's got a lazy eye.
Dude, what's the show that William Dafoe is in where he's all fucked up?
Oh yeah, that one looked crazy.
Dude, he looks like he's a Lego piece.
Emma Stone,
where he has like different pieces of
Emma Stone and Dafoe. He's like in a tower or something.
I don't know. I didn't see the.
Is it the pretty something?
Yeah, pretty. Something things.
That one's in theaters right now.
Poor things.
Poor things.
Yeah, I think it's Poor Things or something.
Something like that.
Poor little
Where's
things
your
or something like that.
Poor little things.
I can look it up.
I watched a crazy movie with Willem Dafoe. What was the name of it? He was like trapped in an apartment that he was trying to rob. That had all these art pieces and it locked him in there like a safe room.
Yeah, Poor Things.
Yeah, Poor Things.
That's right.
Yeah, I want to see it, but we're waiting for it to come out streaming. So I think mid-February is the anticipated date for it.
I like Willem Dafoe.
What was the other one that I watched recently? It was like fucking odd movie as well. It was one set in like the 50s. I forget who the actress was, but it had who was the girl from? I always think of her from Princess Diaries.
Oh, Catwoman. What's her name?
Not Catwoman.
No.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he looks like Jigsaw from Punisher.
That's what I was talking about, dude.
Oh shit. Willem Dafoe. Damn.
I just saw on the awards thing when they show his picture, and he's like, and I was like, whoa, because they show a little clip from the movie or whatever. You know, whenever they're
remember where that is.
Poor Things.
I don't have anything, but so I can put the image
you can
up.
check on it.
But I don't want to pull it. Okay.
You're talking about from Princess Diaries, like the main.
Yeah, the main girl.
Yeah,
what's
Catwoman.
her name? Oh, she played the new Catwoman.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of old Catwoman.
Yeah, no, not Eartha Kitt.
Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
So, what's the latest Anne Hathaway movie that came out recently?
She was Catwoman.
It was a timepiece movie.
27 Dresses.
No, it was a fucking weird one too. It was good. It was kind of more indie.
Is it like a period piece?
Yeah, it's so weird that these last two movies that I mentioned, so The Holdovers and what was the one before that with Keegan? Or Barry
Keoghan.
She's 41.
What was his name you said?
Barry Keoghan?
Yeah. Those movies, they did them in like a weird aspect ratio. It's not a normal one that we would get in modern movies now. So they changed up the aspect ratio. For The Holdovers, is like super square. It wasn't even like a 4:3 aspect ratio. It was like a perfect square. And I guess the idea was they wanted it to be like you're just looking in on the shit.
Yeah.
Elaine?
And then Eileen. Eileen, I think it is. That movie was good. It's based off of like a book or something. Very interesting to watch. We have a lot of these dramatic movies, but
1964 Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Secretary.
So it was a time specific movie.
My wife got me into watching Gilded Age on Max.
Gilded Age, what's that about?
It's like Downton Abbey, but like American version.
Oh.
It's the same producers and stuff, but it's like has the Rockefellers and all stuff. It's like in early New York when people had money and before the stock market.
There's something that I was watching recently. And
where are you? Did you ever watch Beef?
Oh, it's a new Netflix show. The Brother Son. It's about it's like John Wick meets Deadpool.
I think he wants to take a shot.
Oh, we taking shots.
Well, I don't know, I'll just
Take shots. Take shots.
You pick up the glass. We got to take shots.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo!
I'm just gonna sip it.
Small shot.
Oh yeah, one small.
It's good when it's outside because it's warm. Warms your body.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've talked about that several times. We don't need to get into that conversation again.
See what happens is
I was trying to lead you again to like argue about the
so
blood
all the
thinning.
blood
Where do
goes
we
to
have
your
these red
organs
stripes
when
at?
you're cold.
Oh, yeah.
And when you drink alcohol, I'm just kidding. It makes the blood go to your.
It's your capillaries.
I've never had these. They're not bad.
No,
They're not amazing, but they're not bad.
Whoa!
I listen to a lot of reggae music, so like,
Yeah, man.
I like
Come
Jamaican
get
stuff.
the
But
red
I
strap,
thought this was
man.
like fake Jamaican beer.
Is that what it is?
But I don't know. I went to
It is Jamaican.
Did you go to Jamaica?
I went to Reggae Fest a couple years back, and they actually had that's what they were selling there. So I'm like, okay, maybe Jamaican people do drink it. I thought I
It
was
says
just like,
Jamaican lager beer.
I thought I was just being a poser drinking it, but
If you go to Jamaica, they're probably not drinking Red Stripe.
No,
It's like
they're probably not drinking beer.
it's like going to Australia and asking for Foster's or whatever. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking?"
I take a salad and a Foster's.
It's actually brewed and bottled
in Jamaica.
in Jamaica.
No. I believe it, but I'm just saying, like, I bet the locals are not like, "Give me the Red Stripe, man." Like,
Why is everything imported to White Plains, New York?
I think that's where they have factories.
Heineken.
All the rich people in Gilded Age own all the factories.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. Just so you know.
Just so I know. Now I know.
No, but Beef, dude. Beef won Best Actor, Best Actress.
That one actually looks pretty good. It has
It's really good.
Stephen Yeun, right?
Yeah. Stephen
I
Yeun.
love that
From
guy.
Walking Dead.
Yeah,
From
he's
Walking
awesome.
Dead,
And,
Invincible.
So
Ali
here,
Wong, right?
I'll just tell you the beginning. It starts as Road Rage. So,
Oh yes, I did watch Beef.
I gotta watch that. What's that on?
it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I'll probably watch that.
Yeah. And it's funny because the director won Best Director.
Yeah.
And he it was based on a real story. It happened to him. So that happened to him where he got into a road rage situation. They were honking and whatever, dude. Like,
crazy.
but then obviously, I think he created a whole story. But
Of like going back and forth. And
yeah, I don't know exactly what happened with his situation, but he thanked the guy that had road rage. He said, "I hope you're still out there honking away, like
Inspiring other people.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, so it was just funny that he took a real life scenario and made a show, and then like it was. But it's the actors, dude. Like Ali Wong was awesome as the co-star with Stephen Yeun, who was the main guy, and then it had David Cho in it, which he's an artist. He's not really like, and he hasn't acted in a lot of stuff, but he's just eccentric and crazy, and that's what he has to play in the show.
We've been watching Percy Jackson on Disney.
The new one.
I watched the first 3 episodes, I want to say.
I think that's all it's out right now, right? Yeah.
No, I feel it. Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's weird.
It's every week.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, they released the first 3 immediately.
2. The first
Oh,
2.
well, then maybe I've only seen the 2.
Yeah. The first 2 got immediately released. Yeah. My
so if
daughter
you
loves
watch it,
those books. Yeah, she's going through.
Yeah, the movies didn't live up to
the first movie. Never watched the second one.
It was clunky and corny.
They added the Pebbles thing and all this. Those weren't in the books.
I remember the hype about the movies, but then it
the
didn't.
whole time watching it, she's like, "That wasn't in the book. That wasn't in the book. Why did they do that?" So like,
when they start messing with control, I'm just kidding. When they start messing with the story because they want to get a reaction, because that's going back to the original
Avatar.
The original Suicide Squad. That's what the director said, that they were pushing him to be more comedic and he wanted to make a more dark storyline. And they were pushing him to be funny because that was what was out, the funny comedy, the Deadpool, and the action comedy kind of stuff. And he wanted to go darker with Suicide Squad, but then they pushed back and they added stupid lines that weren't funny. And
I don't really care for the dark superhero take because like
it's overdone.
Well, now it is, but at the time it wasn't.
It could be emotional, and they've shown that. Like that, you can get emotional, you can get dark, you can get crazy, you can get like, suspense and whatnot and everything. But you don't need to go full like fucking like depression hits me hard.
I'm brooding constantly.
I think I fixed your mic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear myself now.
Yeah, the issue is that you're pulling in and out, and I think it's because the processing was turned on for it. Remember I told you like this thing wants to do its own processing, and I usually turn it off so I could do it all on the computer. Yeah.
So the entire channel.
Good thing you figured it out.
Yeah, you were going in and out. Now it should be picking up fine wherever you go.
Well,
so everything I said the first hour.
Yeah,
we're only an hour in.
Well, by the time I go back and reprocess it, I think it should level it out. We should be okay.
Yeah, you can raise the levels.
Yeah,
it'll sound fine.
I can overdub it with Jar Jar voice.
Yeah, actually,
let's try some Jar Jar now.
Take it down.
Misa, think you were crazy. That's bad, Jar Jar.
Do I have to do one now? I don't know.
That sound like a cat.
I know. I got weird right there. There's something got stuck in my throat.
You sound like Yoda.
Yeah, I was pulling
Yoda? Do Yoda.
I think I was pulling Yoda. I need something to say. I don't know what to say. What do I say?
Say the Galactic Force is coming.
Jamaican Mysterious.
Galactic Force is coming, yes.
Okay. What do you think?
Do Kermit the Frog.
Do Yoda now.
Okay. Fear, anger, leads to the dark side.
Fear, anger, to the dark side. One will go.
You will be. You will be.
Okay, try your Jar Jar now. Try your Jar Jar. Can you do Jar Jar now?
Jar Jar's more high pitched, I think, for it. So
it's the same parts you get to it, though.
Yeah,
it's similar, very similar.
Like, let's see. I don't know. I need something to say. I can't just come up with things to say on the spot.
This is starting this day with the pretty biscuit morning munching.
Pretty biscuit morning munching. I don't know.
Follow me now, Orchidee.
Orchidee.
You follow me now, Orchidee.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
He has an Orchidee.
That was my first merch. Was a Jar Jar talking Jar Jar doll.
Talking Jar Jar doll?
Yeah, I still have it. It's it came with a little alarm clock that was one of the pod racer mechanic guys. And he'd wake up. It's 7 a.m. You still waking up now?
So you grew up with that.
I was a senior in high school.
For me,
you made it sound like he was in fifth grade or something.
It came out in '99.
And he's all.
I guess there's
earlier.
In '99, I was 9 years old.
Yeah, that's why he's thinking that.
Yeah. So my first toy from that movie, and it was the first Star Wars thing I think I ever owned, and I got it as a gift for my 9-year-old birthday, was, and I didn't even know what it was at the time. It was a Qui-Gon Jinn action figure.
You're like, what is this?
And it came with that fish thing that almost ate them.
The goober fish?
Yeah. And I remember I took it to New Mexico to visit my great-grandparents. And my great grandfather, he had a koi pond. And so I remember playing with it, and he set it out next to the koi pond, and I was like, you can have it, Grandpa. Because I didn't really care for it because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I just knew that it opened its mouth, and it had weird teeth. Since then, that koi pond had been cemented, and it's lived as like a centerpiece outside in my grandfather's yard forever. When he passed, and then my great-grandmother passed, and then the house got given to my aunt, I remember visiting my aunt years and years later, and this was probably like 5 years ago now.
She's
So from the point where I was 9 years old to 5 years ago. So I'm not doing the math.
10 years.
Yeah, probably like 10 or 15 years of time passed. 20 years.
Wow.
20 years. Just about 20 years, actually. Because it was probably less than 5 years ago.
So you're 29?
No. It was probably when I was about like 29 or 30. So around that time.
Oh, okay.
She still had it. And I went and told her, I was like, this is the story of the thing. And she's like, I found it out there and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing. And I threw most of everything else away. I kept that. And it will live part of this house's decoration for years to come.
You
now.
got to get a picture of that.
I know. I think I did take one at one point because I was like, that's so nostalgic. I need to take it. My phone's there. So
I think I have the Qui-Gon that came with that. I bought it at, there's a shop in Glendale that has
we need to put them together.
That has like bins. Then you would just pick out action figures. I went on Free Comic Day one year and like bought a bunch of figures for like $10.
You would have been so funny as if she told you the whole thing and then you're like, yeah, I'm going to take it. And then you just take it.
I'm going to sell it on eBay now since I know it's old.
Well, I
you know how much thing is worth? You know, but it's probably like sun-dried. And like,
it definitely is. It's sun-dried.
Yeah.
No one's touched it.
The power of toys, right?
So it honestly has lasted because I remember looking into the mechanism still works. It had like a part where you push down on it and then on the back and the mouth would open up.
You have to put a picture of this now.
Oh, fuck you.
You talked about it so much.
Find a spot to put a fucking picture.
Because I'm just trying to think of what it might look like. I have no idea.
Well, let me see.
I mean, I can probably pull it up.
Yeah, you pull it up because you probably... What is this thing called?
You know what to look for.
It's probably the goober fish from...
Is it that what it's literally called?
It's a goober fish.
It's a goober fish. Run!
We're going to get to Egypt.
But I remember that birthday specifically. I got that. Do you guys remember those air... They were like planes that you would charge up and you would throw them and then they would like air hogs.
Okay.
Air hog planes. I had one of those air hog planes. I had a super soaker that was pretty like gnarly at the time.
Why do you remember so much from 90s?
It was the first and only birthday party that was thrown for any of us growing up.
That's why.
Because my birthday was in the summer. Everyone else's birthday was in the winter. So
you think
I had a summer birthday.
Yeah.
We had a big birthday party. There was a piñata. There was a Rugrats piñata. It was Tommy Pickles.
Okay.
I got my gifts. And I remember
I got the Three Musketeer bar.
I broke his leg.
A lot of the things that I got were, as far as gifts with the cards, you know, people would like give you money. They didn't give me money. They gave me Toys R Us dollars. Because Toys R Us dollars were still a thing. And I remember taking my Toys R Us dollars. Yeah, with the giraffe on it.
Yeah.
And I had enough to buy half of the cost worth of the complete Mighty Morphin's Power Rangers Megazord with all of the individual parts that came off into their own multiple Zords.
Whoa. That's pretty awesome.
I know. My dad, he pitched in for the next half of it. And it was my favorite fucking toy.
Dude, kids will never know the joy of going into Toys R Us. Like, it was a warehouse.
With fucking Toys R Us dollars in your hand? Oh my God, you could do whatever you wanted.
But because I'm saying just walking through, like, the imagination.
And in a childhood like mine, we never went to Toys R Us.
I don't miss overpaying for all that stuff.
No.
Well, I didn't pay for any of it. I was a kid, so I didn't care. But
it was very few times we went there because, like, it's a place specifically for toys. We never got toys. We never went toy shopping. If we got something, it was at Walmart, and it was if we really begged and held it the entire time, and most of the time it was like, put that away, we're checking out.
Yeah, I don't remember getting a lot of stuff when I went, but it was just fun walking through.
My mom loved
the bikes. Remember there was a whole wall of bikes.
A whole wall of bikes, the video game aisle.
If my mom was shopping for a toy for somebody, she was gonna go to Toys R Us and get it because that was the toy store.
You know who has like a good scene, like if you want to try to relive some of that, is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. They go to Toys R Us and they're bouncing around on the ball. Remember that bouncy ball that you would hold that would have a handle? Yeah, so they're going through the aisles and you can see the store because they're going through and then they're getting chased by the worker and stuff.
And that was just like pretty much a kid's version of like, what was that 80s movie of...
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead?
No, or maybe it was 70s. It was
Breakfast
like...
Club?
No, where they had like the
Serpico.
dead uncle or something that was supposed to be babysitting them. So
Weekend at Bernie's?
Weekend at Bernie's.
They're completely different.
No, I wouldn't say it's the same thing because she was just dead and they dropped her off.
And then the kids she had to like pretend to be older to get a job.
Yeah, she had to assume all the responsibilities because it was her mom for some reason just decided to go to Australia.
It's the Opie.
Opie?
Let me see what it looks like because he's gonna put a picture.
That's it. That's the fucking toy. And so it still exists, and I think both of those antennas are there. It's very much more pale than that right now.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that's pretty rare.
And it came with that Qui-Gon Jinn action figure, right?
That never happened in the movie.
No, he never went after it. But yeah, I do remember him having the
Luke
fucking.
Luke does that in Last Jedi.
Does he?
He stabs that big fish.
Oh, that's right. He does. Wow. He does.
Nothing ever gets thrown out of Star Wars.
I guess not. I guess he was channeling it.
I love going through old toys. I'm telling you, like, there's just something like magical about toys and action figures.
There's so many. And do you know what I heard was that Mark Hamill, when he found out they were making toys for it, he asked for his contract to make sure that he has one of every toy produced for Star Wars.
Whoa.
So he's just got a warehouse full of unopened fucking toys because they would just keep sending him stuff.
Didn't he get stuff signed too by George?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I would if I was him.
Why not?
So if he ever wants to sell his...
I mean, he can sign him himself.
He can make a whole museum.
He pretty much has... Yeah. He has the world's most complete collection.
He also collects, like, Beatles stuff, too. Like, he has, like...
Beetlejuice?
No, like the Beatles.
Oh, just Beatles?
He might have Beetlejuice stuff,
Guy's so talented in the different things he does. The Joker. He did really well when he did Child's Play, I think.
He's in the new... was he Chucky?
Yeah, he played Chucky.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow.
He voiced a lot. He you can Avatar: The Last Airbender. He played Fire Lord Ozai.
Was he really?
Yeah, that was him.
I never knew that.
He's in so many voices.
Him and Shatner are doing the new He-Man.
The Kevin Smith one?
There's a it's
He-Man.
Called He-Man, not Revelations. It's the new one that's coming out. I don't know if it's a continuation of that.
I think it is if it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
but I know
he
they're going
plays
to make
Skeletor.
a kitty. Yeah, I think Shatner's playing Hordak.
Wait, continuous of what?
So Kevin Smith did a He-Man series.
He did?
Yes, called He-Man Revelations, and it follows through...
When?
Like 2 years, 3 years back?
Really?
Yeah.
Recent.
And so
I didn't even know about
it's a continuation of the 80s cartoon.
Original, yeah.
So it has the skull.
So it's not a remake. And they follow a very interesting storyline, and there's a couple of like...
It's really boring.
Das Lugner or whatever the heck is his name?
It's really boring.
Right? He did He-Man, right?
That was the movie, which was awful.
So not a continuation of the movie.
No, the actual 80s cartoon.
The actual 80s cartoon.
Dude, I don't remember the cartoon, though.
Oh, that was my generation. That was...
I was a kid when I saw it. I mean, I don't remember.
It's definitely its own thing. But it does have a couple of like plot twists in there that are a little bit different that you don't expect.
They do talk about the backstory, right?
With Evil Lyn and stuff, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking more of like what they did with He-Man.
So I've only watched like half of that season, so I mean I could spoil it because it's been out. I gotta watch it because I want to watch it.
You don't have to spoil it, but
He-Man dies in the first episode.
Yeah, that was like the big thing. Is like they show He-Man
come from? Where is?
And
this
they don't
character?
actually call it He-Man. It's called Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
So it's wait, what?
Well, the original one was too.
Where is He-Man from?
Eternia.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's just a man.
Eternia has his own power. So he's not. He-Man is.
I don't know what his story is.
So he uses the power of Grayskull through the sword. What's the sword called?
Sword of Power.
Sword of Power.
Yeah.
So he calls upon the Sword of Power. His name is Adam. He's a prince of Eternia, and he uses the Sword of Power to call on the power of Grayskull, which apparently is this entire like mystical power force that connects the universe or something.
Okay.
He pulls it down to transform into He-Man, who is a savior of Eternia.
And he has leather straps on his chest.
Yes.
Right. No, they are leather.
Yeah, I thought they were leather.
It depends on the costume. They had both.
And no shirt on.
And the fucking crazy thing is when they do this, like,
so what does he look like before that?
He's the same.
Yeah,
he just has a pink shirt on.
Okay. So they in the show they say that when you die as a He-Man, as someone who's taken that power, there's like this reincarnated place you get to live in peaceful bliss
like
in your afterlife. Yeah, like kind of like that.
Shazam.
So he ends up coming back to save his friends, and they tell him like, if you come back, you're not going to come back here because you have to make great sacrifice to come back here and stuff.
Great responsibility.
And shit, yeah. And so like when he comes back,
is this a spoiler?
I think so.
Yeah, just stop right there. I was just asking who he was.
Yeah.
My friends loved the show.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I really felt like that was
2
interesting.
Seasons?
Yeah. Now they're doing a 3rd season's coming out soon.
And this is on what?
The thing is like there was this whole thing that and the premise of this show, why it's so much different, is it follows a whole different person, and it gets real more dramatic about the backstories of all these characters, and it takes away magic from the universe, and so that allows technology to take the place of in the universe, and it's this meld between magic. They use the technology to try to harness it and stuff.
So wait, did they?
That was kind of the premise before, though. It was like a advanced society that had magic too.
Yeah,
but it kind of
changed. Now they kind of like
shifted,
put more into that idea.
So, did they do a backstory of Skullface or whatever the heck his name was? His name
Skeletor.
Skeletor. Yeah, is he like Skeletor kid or something?
No. It's not a backstory. It's a continuation.
No, but I'm saying, do they show you anything about him?
Do they go back into his past? Not outside of like the He-Man show.
There was
like they'll do callbacks, right?
There was another show that did show the origins of how he became
I didn't watch
Skeletor.
that show.
Yeah, before this.
There was another show?
They had a couple shows running consecutively for this. Because it's a whole universe. And that's the idea of this, is that it's not a story about He-Man. It's a story about the Masters of the Universe, which
that was what it was called. It was original language.
Yeah, Masters of the Universe. That's a show.
Not just He-Man. Yeah.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And now it's just He-Man. Or now it's just Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Revelations.
So what are they going to do, like Doctor Who of this, or what? They can just have a bunch of different He-Mans or something? Or what?
Well, they
He-Woman.
They say that
well, She-Ra. That was his sister.
Yeah.
But that's the sister of He-Man, though. Yeah. If they wanted another He-Man, it would be like a She-Man, or what?
So He-Man is the power that comes.
That's what I'm saying.
Think of like Power Rangers, how like the power coin makes you the Red Ranger, right? And there can be a different Red Ranger who uses that power coin. So that's pretty much the premise of He-Man.
But it goes based on you, because he also had a tiger.
Yes.
Was a coward, and when he got the power too, because he's riding on him, he turns into this giant, like, crazy He-Man.
That makes me
version of it.
The tiger.
That makes me think of Thundercats. Isn't there plans to do a Thundercat movie?
They did redo a Thundercat show
Nickelodeon.
A little bit back, and that was pretty
cartoon
too.
Or
you know what was really good too was the remake that they did for the show Voltron.
I didn't watch
They did it through the studio people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender. So that was their next project after Avatar.
And Shamalama?
It was no.
Was that before they did
Korra? Yes, before they did Korra, they did.
Looks awesome.
The live action?
Yes.
I haven't seen anything.
You haven't seen the trailer?
I don't want to.
Gosh, man, it looks.
I don't want. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it.
So you won't watch it?
Man.
Yeah, I really want to watch it. I'm really excited for that one.
I love the show.
I love the show too.
And that's the best animated thing.
And the fact that they're doing a whole animated universe too.
Yeah.
And so they greenlit like a lot of projects for them to make different movies, animated movies, the original showrunners, and more series and stuff through Netflix.
That's Dave Filoni from Clone Wars. Wrote the first season. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a director and he did some of the writing too. That's where he came from. They hired him from Lucasfilm because of his work on Avatar. Yeah.
Shit.
What do you think about the new Star Wars director? I heard some controversy about her.
It's because people are crybaby. They don't even know anything about the movie yet. Like,
she was doing an interview. I'll tell you what happened. So she was doing an interview, and she just started speaking like she's a feminist. So she was just like, I love making men uncomfortable.
No, that interview was from like 6 or 7 years ago from a documentary she did.
Okay.
People just keep doing the same clip. But all she said was like, oh, it's great to be the first woman director of a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
And then they started pulling up.
Which Star Wars film is this?
I think she's doing the Rey movie. They're making another one with Rey.
Is that what it is?
Oh, that's right. They're doing a continuation on that. The only one that I've known about
episode 10.
is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Yeah, they just announced that this week.
Yes.
Jon Favreau's doing that one. Yeah.
So she did that interview and she made those comments and stuff, and she's like, I thrive, or I get excited to make men uncomfortable, or like just kind of like a lot of anti-men stuff.
I'm excited. I like being uncomfortable.
But so then there's been some writers and some people like talking about it, like
Grifters on YouTube.
Why would you do know that 2/3 of your audience is male, right? Like why would you go into a project
It's
saying
even now?
That's what they said. 2/3 is the audience for Star Wars.
I wouldn't count any of the dudes that were crying about it on YouTube as fans. They haven't liked anything for like 10 years.
I didn't read any of them what they said, because there's always going to be the negative comments. But I'm just taking the short clip that I saw of her saying
which was from an old interview that pertained to a documentary she did at the time on that subject matter. So it had nothing to do with Star Wars.
Oh, they weren't even talking about Star Wars?
This was like from some other documentary she did, which I'm assuming was about like.
So they did make it kind of feel like it was more recent than the clips that I saw.
Whatever happened to that fighter pilot one they were supposed to be doing?
They kind of announced that. And she
like an
did,
X-Wing?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Rogue Squadron. I forget the director, but she's the one that did the Wonder Woman 84.
Yes.
That tanked, and so I guess she kind of they wanted her to make some changes, or they were still it was early development, nothing really. All they had was the title. And so I think she kind of just didn't want to do it anymore, and they couldn't think of ideas, and it got spun into they should. Patty Jenkins, that was the director.
Patty Jenkins, yes.
Yeah, so they try to spin that as, they fired another director from Star Wars. Like, well, they aren't into the project anymore. And
so you're fine. You think she'll do a good job?
Yeah, it's the Star Wars movie. They're not going to do anything crazy. Like,
they could.
I mean, and if so, I mean, people thought the last 3 movies were crazy, and I thought they were fine.
They're all right. I didn't care for them as much as the other stuff. But what I find that most appealing to me has been the more world-building parts of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Those stories have been way more interesting to me. Like, my favorite so far has been Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I really love diving into Ahsoka. Actually, for Christmas, one of the presents I got was her ship that I built in Lego up there.
Yeah, I saw that up there.
And it spins, too.
Oh, wow.
You put it up there.
Grab that thing.
If you watch the finale of Rebels,
it's
the same ship, which is awesome that they did that.
Pick it up, PJ.
Yeah, I don't want to break it.
Yeah. Here you go.
I got that X-Wing for Christmas. I built that. That was the first.
That one?
Yeah, I might be hooked on Lego Star Wars stuff now.
You see, my wife,
Oh, that's cool.
She had gone and bought me a Lego set for Christmas, okay? And she did it because she went on my computer and saw that I had the image of this Lego set, and then I was Google searching this specific Lego set.
So you were looking this one up?
I was looking this one up.
He was laying breadcrumbs.
And so when I opened it, I was like, it wasn't this one.
Print out pictures of it.
It wasn't this specific Lego set. It was a different Lego set.
Oh, okay.
And another Star Wars Lego set, and so she bought it, and she had to buy it on eBay, and it was up.
This one?
No, a different one that's discontinued now. So she paid a reseller's price of an extra $20 or $30 on top of it. I opened it up, and I was like, I have this one.
Oh no!
It was that one up there.
Oh, okay.
Which
is that a Clone Wars one?
I can bring down too. Here, hold that.
Oh, twist it. He didn't even show you the feature.
Yeah, it has the gyroscoping cockpit.
I don't know if you're on camera showing it or not.
Oh, here.
There you go.
Pew, pew, pew.
And actually, if on these sides here, they open up in their compartments to hold the different things. It came with 4 figures.
That's cool.
So it has lightsabers in there for her and everything.
You notice that no one ever holds up any Avatar Legos or or any other IPs. It's always Star Wars stuff. That's always the cool things that come out.
Avatar.
She had bought me here. Hold that one for me.
That's pretty cool.
She bought me this ship. And I told her I already have it, and she got all pissed off at me. She's like, well, why were you looking it up on your computer? And I was like, well, I dropped it. So I had all these pieces, and I didn't know where they were supposed to go. So I was looking it up so I could rebuild it.
So was this from F9?
That was, I think so. It's, I forget what it's called. It's Black Trooper.
It's not the Whisperer.
Something.
BB-8.
The main guy who's supposed to be in it is
Is it? It's not.
It's this figure. Just get these headphones off. It came with these guys. So whoever the fuck this guy is.
Oh, let me see that.
He's sleeveless? He's got no sleeves.
Is this from Resistance?
I don't know.
It's got BB-8.
I forget who he is from.
Because there's a dude on. I don't know if you ever watched Star Wars Resistance. It was the. Like, it was during the sequel era, the timeline. But they had aces, and one guy was like.
That's what it is. It's Black Ace.
It's a Resistance. I did not know they came out with the Resistance line. That's awesome.
That's probably why I didn't recognize it, because I was like, I don't remember seeing it in...
I know one other person that watched Resistance, and it's my co-host.
That character is also in the new movies. The one who I put in the ship.
Oh, who's that? Isn't that Poe?
Yes, that's Poe.
Oh, okay.
Which is what my dog is named after.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't be flying this. This is breaking canon completely.
But I liked him better in it.
BB-8 was on Resistance, though.
Oh, was he?
And so was Poe, actually.
Well, that's probably why this came out for it then.
Yeah. So the story Resistance it takes place before Force Awakens.
Yeah, which is why I didn't watch it, because I didn't really care for any of that.
But then they show parts of Force Awakens in it as a cartoon. Like, they do the whole Hux speech and they blow up the planet and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oh, and then this one also has... this piece back here comes out.
That's cool.
No, wait. Is it?
I have some of the action figures from Resistance. I didn't know they made Lego sets. That's kind of cool. Yeah, when I saw his helmet, I'm like, hey, that's that guy.
I think it's this whole square piece. Yeah.
7 or 8
They have more storage.
Oh, wow.
So they put storage in these things.
So what did you do with the extra set? Did you just use the instruction to put it together again?
No, we gave it to my nephew as a gift. It was weird because she bought it from eBay. There was absolutely no returns allowed on the listing, and it shipped from Amazon.
Wow.
Right.
I think you're able to put stuff on Amazon and have them
ship it to eBay. Yeah.
Actually, it's against Amazon's rules unless you own an Amazon store and it's sitting there as part of your product. So it's against eBay's rules to drop ship it. You know, because that's what it would basically be. Yeah. Let me list something, then buy it on Amazon and send it to you.
So did she buy it on eBay or buy it on Amazon?
She bought it on eBay because she couldn't find it anywhere else. It was on Amazon, but it was more. But by the time the eBay price was listed as one thing and then shipping costs on top of that, which is bullshit because he just shipped it through Amazon. Anyway.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So he made extra money too.
So couldn't you red flag him and try to get...
I mean, it's a whole process. And we thought about like trying to resell it, but we would never recoup the money because of the going rate and stuff. So we decided to give it to my nephew instead as a gift. It was a good Christmas gift. And then she bought me this one.
But was it in good condition though? Right?
It was brand new.
It was, okay.
Wait, so you bought another one anyways?
I told her not to buy me one, but she felt bad because she wanted to get me a Christmas present. And I was like, it's really the thought that counts because like you went through all this trouble to, you know, invade my privacy on my computer and look at the shit that I was looking at. So she went through my history, found the pages that I had, and they were my most recent tabs at the time. So, yeah, I know.
So wait. Hold on. So she bought that one off of eBay. Then she bought another one?
So she bought this one off of eBay. And when I opened it and told her I had this, and she's like, no, you don't. And I was like, yes, I do. And I went and showed her. And she was like, why did you have it open on your computer? He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, yeah, I dropped it.
Yeah.
And I had to figure out where the pieces went. So I was looking at the images and zooming in on the product pages.
Yeah.
And then so... she bought me this one as a replacement.
As a replacement.
Okay. I thought you said the same
better. One. It's got little things it shoots.
It's got the lightsaber compartments.
Yeah, but see, normally like these ships, and the same with that one, they'll shoot the rods. This one actually shoots the single Lego bricks. Like, let me shoot one. I'll show you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, it went somewhere. The dog's going to eat it.
That's okay. They'll just poop it out.
That's weird.
So it shoots the little tiny bricks, and I was like, I've never seen that before on a Lego. And it loads in like it's an actual like little shooter for it.
I did have one that did that, but it was like a bow and arrow. It was one of those Lego Friends ones.
It's hard to like load it. There you go. I mean, you can look at it.
I had trouble making that one. I got that for Christmas.
It's got little feet and stuff. Oh yeah,
the gearbox thing.
Oh,
I messed up and it was not spreading the S
for the wings. You want to grab that one too?
I had to take it all apart and then redo it.
Of the X-wing?
The X-wing.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. I like the little components. I know. My wife got me that one, and I'm like, I might start collecting these, but I have nowhere to put them.
Yeah, I know. I cleared off that shelf right there. I used to have like my sewing equipment and stuff, and I'm thinking I'm going to start collecting more. So the Technics he's mentioning is this part right here. When you push that in, the wings open.
Out, yeah. They're in an attack position now.
That's my favorite. I like the X-wing.
It's a classic.
I have an X-wing.
Sure.
I like that it came with Donna and Leia too.
Yeah, and this one actually came with, if you grab the figures there, it came with the robot David Tennant.
It came with what's his name?
Yeah, I forget what his name is. And it came with what's her name too?
Red Face.
Oh, Sabine.
Yeah, Sabine, and it has her lightsabers. And this guy.
Wrenchman.
Yeah, so her hair is in the ship.
Oh, okay.
It's in the storage, and her lightsaber's there too. The weird thing is it came with like...
Is that Doc Brown?
I kid you not. They gave this one piece, this one little Lego piece right here, this little antennae thing for her scope, right? I got like 6 of them.
Really? That's weird.
6 of them, and then a bunch of other pieces that we didn't use at all. Yeah, because I think they put them in a set.
When I got that one, I got an extra hilt.
Yeah, I've got a couple of extra hilts, and this shit's dusty just because like everything in this room is dusty.
It took me a couple days to build that. I was like, that's the biggest one I've ever built.
I love this, and I love just like playing with them, like.
Yeah, I made a video like that and sent it to my friends. then the S foils go down.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, and then I got this guy too. Weird. Did they ever say if he was like a robot or an undead dude?
It looked like he was
a cyborg.
Oh, didn't he do the poofy thing? Oh, he was a Night Witch.
Yes, a Night Witch, Red Sister, undead. But who was he underneath? We will never know. It's just a blank head. Which I thought was
they thought he was Star Killer from the games.
Yes, that was the theory going into it.
But I'm excited for the movies and everything.
You like watching them?
Yeah, I like the sequels.
Except if it's Zack Snyder.
Oh, that's why they rejected his.
And then the last Star Wars thing I have is that little BB-8 right there. You want to grab that one?
Nope, we're not going to grab it.
That one's a cool one.
I think we've all seen what he looks like.
Yeah, it's BB-8. I can grab him.
Is it a Bop It?
No, it's cooler than that. So a friend sent this to me.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a weed grinder.
That's not his function.
It's not his function, but it's exactly so cool. What he's made for. It's exactly what he should be made for.
He's not B-blunted 8. That's not what it
comes part and everything for it.
Boom. I have
That's not licensed by Lucasfilm, by the way.
No, it's definitely not.
Aftermarket.
But they did a really good job of it being an aftermarket little weed grinder.
I think they had to make it just different enough, though, because it doesn't look like his pattern.
It does not, because these are not in the center.
Because I have the reason I know is because I have the
you have the gyro,
the actual remote control gyro,
the Sphero.
Yeah, that moves and his head slides on the ball. So it's pretty cool.
I had an original Sphero where it was just a ball, and you controlled it, and that's what it was originally is. And then when this came out, make that money.
I got the one from Disneyland. You do the droid, the BB-8 unit.
Where the build your droid.
Yeah, those things are so crazy how they are able to move around and roll on the ground. It's just like wheels vibrating and it goes in circles. It's crazy, and the head's magnetic. It stays on the top of it the whole time. Well,
the inside is pretty basic, I would think. So the wheels inside will move the outer wheel, and then it's weighted. So there's always a part inside that's standing up,
in the ground,
and that is magnetic.
Yeah, that's where
the head. And so that's how the head can always be up.
On the top.
Yeah, because when you play with the remote control, it does the same thing. It's magnetized, and then the head just slides across. And it works pretty good.
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah. I used to love playing it with... when I first moved here, my sister had like 5 cats, and I lived with her. And so I had that thing, the Sphero, and I would just control it running around.
Chasing cats?
Yeah, and the cats would chase it.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a ball.
They fucking loved it.
Yeah.
We play with cats all the time. It was great. It's the only time I liked her cats. Other than that, it sucked.
Galaxy's Edge again since I came here last time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we hadn't gone to Disneyland since like 2019 when Galaxy's Edge first opened. So my daughter made
Yeah, it's about the time I went too.
She made a lightsaber this time. I made one last time.
Oh, I really want to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Just watching her do it, like, it was great. Like,
what's the basic cost on just making
$200?
Yeah.
$200?
Yeah, for
but you can go up to like $500, right?
If you buy the ones
those are like the ones that are already made.
Already pre-assembled, like the legacy ones, is that what they call them?
Yeah, like the Ahsoka one or like the
where they're actually like
somebody handmade
the movie ones. Like this is a replica of Luke's lightsaber, and they come with their special case that's different than the ones you would have got. Yeah. Like it's like a chest almost, and they'll have a little plaque usually, I think.
Yeah.
So the one you build comes with the case then?
The one you build comes with like, it's more of like you say it because, I mean, you own one.
Yeah, it's like a canvas bag kind of type of thing you put in there with styrofoam inside so it doesn't get ruined.
So what do you do with it once you buy it? You can't put it on a ride, right? Do they hold it for you? Or?
We took it. Right.
Do you just hold it while you're...
The case that it comes with is a strap. It has a strap on it.
But I'm saying it doesn't get in the way or anything? Like,
I mean, we went on the Falcon with it and we were able to like set it down in the corner, carefully. And I think we went on Rise of Resistance with them.
Space Mountain, wee.
Same thing with on any of the rides at Disneyland. Like if you have items that don't fit in the ride, there's a spot for you to put them, and they usually watch the stuff for you. They're pretty good about it.
There is an option when you buy them. You can say like, do you want to take it now, or we can have you pick it up later.
They'll even ship it to you.
That's what I was asking.
Like, people were getting in trouble when they first came out of like
going through airports and stuff.
The only thing I have from that trip still is we have the Sprite and the Coke bottles.
Yeah, I got the Sprite this time.
Which I don't know why.
Those are awesome.
We collect the fucking plastic bottles, but they look like little bombs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people were getting in trouble for those too.
It was just funny we were there because I had mine that I built last time, and my daughter had her saber she was bought, and people kept walking up to us, where'd you guys get? Oh, just go right there to Savvy's workshop. Like I didn't mention they were $200 each.
No.
I can just imagine them going back. They're like, "Oh, can I get those lightsabers? Okay, it's $200 for the experience."
But I mean, you get the whole experience.
It's
I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I wanted to do for
every stage.
It's you go and it's basically like you're in the world and you're part of the hiding Jedi, and these scrappers find all these pieces and they're like, okay, like pick which ones you want, and
so everybody's standing around a table.
It's like an immersive play kind of thing.
They take you to a back room. There's a whole like.
They're like, watch out, the First Order's coming. Be quiet.
Yeah. Like when you're at the guy and you're shopping for the stuff, he's very like concealed about it. They stay in character. They give you a time slot. You come back and you get shoved to like a back room, and there's this whole like thing, and you got to say a chant and whatnot.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's cool. I can feel that the Force is here with us and all the stuff, and like,
except for you. I'm just kidding.
Except for Greg.
I've seen videos where some people are being disruptive about it or not like getting the immersion, and they fucking will kick them out.
Yeah, because that ruins it for everybody. Because you got little kids in there that are like,
you don't want to do that.
I mean, I was like, what, 40, and I was
like, come on, guy, we just want to build this. And like, I can see that.
I've seen people take NFC readers though, because in the shops. One of the cool things about their lightsabers is the kyber crystals can come out. And so what it does is like you can go to one of the shops and like the gift shops and grab different kyber crystals and there's mystery ones and stuff. And so you don't know what you get.
Yeah, there's I have them all.
Oh, you do?
No, but except for I didn't know they came up with a Ahsoka one, a white one. But
yes, and there's a couple that like there's a blood red one.
You can have a chance if you buy a red one. It could be black.
Yes.
But it's still like technically a red one.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went last time, you could pick them out from the wall. They had them behind the counter now this time.
Oh.
So you had to ask for a crystal and they're like, which color do you want? And they hand you the basket.
Because when they first did it, they were in mystery bags and they're basically just NFC.
Yeah.
So, which means you can read them and find out what the code is for it. So on the lightsaber, you would put these in and it would change the color of the blade. Based on the crystal.
Yeah.
And so someone found out that you can then rewrite what the crystal is. You can make the crystal any color you want because they're NFC.
How is that possible? Because the crystals are actually different colors.
Well, so the crystal would be different color, but the technology in there is
just telling the lightsaber
so it tells the lightsaber what color to do. So you rewrite whatever crystal you want to be any color you want.
So you could pick a color that doesn't even exist.
No, it's the pre-programmed colors for the lightsaber.
My daughter picked out a red one because she was trying to get the black one, but we just got a red one. But I also bought one of those what do you call it? Why am I afraid? The holocrons.
Oh, the holocron.
That was my birthday present. So I bought a holocron. I was like, okay, I got all the crystals now. That thing's so awesome. You put the crystals in there, and depending on the color, it's either Yoda talking to you or Obi-Wan. You get a red one, it's Darth Maul or Palpatine. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
How much is a holocron or whatever?
I think they're $50 each. Yeah.
I looked into building my own lightsaber, so I was looking at different boards and stuff that are available, and LED light strips and things that you can buy. To program and create your own like usable lightsabers. And I forget what there's like a couple of different options if you start like digging the hole into getting into the DIY world of lightsaber building, and putting the electronics together and getting the right type of speakers and things to solder together and make your lightsaber yours. And you could do it for the same amount of money that you would get from the Disneyland one, but you're making things out of like literal metal.
Yeah.
So it's going to be heavy.
The Disneyland ones are pretty heavy.
Pretty durable and pretty good.
Yeah, he showed me his. It's heavy. It's not light at all. And it has real pieces that look, you have to screw on and stuff like.
Yeah. They're really well made. Because I do have a Vader replica saber from 2005 when Revenge of the Sith came out. And like that one I thought was heavy. And then I got the Disneyland one. That one's heavy because the metal pieces. Yeah.
They definitely made it worth the price.
It is.
And I would definitely want to go get one. Did they ever show like they had that special effect that they teased like a couple of years ago where they had a retractable lightsaber?
That was on the cruise or the hotel thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the one where they put you in a cruise ship?
Yeah, the one that it's closed now, but like because it was too expensive, I guess.
Yeah, it was like $5,000.
Yeah.
To be
for like a 3-day trip or something.
Yeah, they assigned you a character and you played that character the whole. There
was like mystery. You can go through the entire ship and find different like corridors or
but
rooms.
You're basically it's an immersive experience, and I don't think it caught on very well to casual people, so it wasn't really like a thing. But yeah, they had a whole thing. I watched videos of it online, and like they had a whole thing with like Rey fighting somebody, but her lightsaber actually does come out like a real one.
That's good. How do they do it?
I don't know. They have the technology. I guess if Deadpool's like sword can come out of his arm, they can make the
lightsaber come out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So wait. So how far back does Wolverine's claws have to retract? Because
well, see, we talked about that just for a second.
No, we didn't because
I mentioned like it's got to go in here, right?
Yeah, it has to go all the way down.
But then the problem is like when he's got to rotate in the rotator cuff here, like you can't.
Well, that's the skin on top of it. If it's between the bones.
Well, because it's supposed to be part of his bones, and his bones have been turned into adamantium.
Adamantium.
Animaniacs. It turned into Animaniacs. Yeah. Adamantium.
Metachlorians.
Yes, metachlorians.
Metachlorians.
The blue shadow virus.
Your metachlorians are low, Steven.
I feel pretty low right now.
Have you ever watched Monty Python?
Yes.
I've seen it a long time ago.
I've seen bits of Monty Python.
My wife put it on last night, the Holy Grail one. We've never watched
so funny.
We've never watched any Monty
It's
Python.
hard to watch it now.
As a student of the theatrical arts, it's kind of like one of the things you have to get involved in
my
watching.
co-hosts on my show, they can quote the movie, and like we've never seen it, and my wife kept seeing clips online. And so
there's so many good quotable scenes in that though.
Yeah, there's the one like, well, a form of government shouldn't be formed by ladies giving you swords on the layers.
Or just like the classic, like, 'tis only a flesh wound, you're missing an arm.
I was laughing through it.
Yeah.
I think I was laughing more. By
the time they make this guy like have no fucking limbs, it's like, it's only a flesh wound.
He's headbutting him with his head. Yeah, it was funny.
And they fucking like try to fight the rabbits.
It got late last night and we stopped watching it at the part where they were throwing the cows at them at the castle.
And they have some hilarious fucking things just in there when they just do the like if you ever watched probably not the series of Monty Python, like the actual
I've never seen any
small
Monty Python,
skits and whatnot, like the fucking canary bird one. It's like the bird is dead. It's like, no, it's just sleeping. It's there sleeping. Look, it's sleeping. It's like, you sold me a dead bird, sir. And he's got like this, I don't know, I can't tell you. Well, that's a good one too.
Yeah, we might finish watching it. It was odd. We never watched it, and it was like, yeah, this is kind of different kind of humor, but it was funny. I like dry humor. And I was cracking up at the whole
British humor, man.
I was cracking up with the whole coconut thing. With if a bird could sparrow can carry it from this.
That's Mel Brooks. Right?
And then they play with it. So
Mel
that's not Monty Python. No, it's John Cleese and.
I thought Mel Brooks directed it.
No, it's Monty Python. Mel Brooks did Spaceballs and Airplane. All
he did Men in Tights. Yeah. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It has a lot of that kind of same humor too.
Yeah, it's like that. It's really
because he's like, I can't swim, and he falls in the little creek, and he's just kicking his legs, and the water's splashing around.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Because he's like, you cannot pass without paying the toll, and then Dave Chappelle's like, dude, I could just literally.
Wasn't he?
He's like, I could just hop from one side to the other. He's like, look, we don't have to use the bridge. He's trying to tell his friend. He's like, we don't have to use this bridge. He's like, I could literally stand on each side. And he's standing like this. And he's like, I will fight you.
Oh, you just moved the camera again.
Did I?
Yeah.
I hit the cord.
It's aimed at the wall.
I guess we're still good.
No.
We're still good. We're still good. You did move it though.
I moved the cord, but not.
It shook the thing. The cord is connected to the camera.
The cord is connected to the thing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
There we go.
Yeah, it's just too much.
There, I put.
Grogu's trying to.
That's where I was though.
Grogu's kind of trying to.
It is now.
Still there.
I'll put
Grogu was supposed to hide the cable umbilical cord that's coming down here to power the cameras. Yeah, but now you're showing this bar, which wasn't there earlier.
Well, you said...
Well, you did, but you didn't. But now... Okay, maybe it was... I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter anymore. It don't fucking matter. And nothing fucking matters.
Nothing really matters.
Nothing really matters to me.
That was kind of weird to see, what's his face? Rami? The dude that did.
Yeah.
He was in Oppenheimer.
Rami Malek?
Yes.
He's in it?
Yeah, dude, they had so many actors in
I gotta finish watching Mr. Robot.
Yeah, me too. No, wait, I did finish. No, I didn't. I think it was season 3 that I did not do.
It kind of went off the rails.
First season was great.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Second season was like, oh shit, mind fuck me.
A little too much Christian Slater.
It went deep. The second one went deep.
Then the sister stuff.
The third one got a little weird. And then I was like, okay. And I didn't finish that. I think
How many seasons?
I don't know because I stopped.
I think it was only 3 or 4.
Might have been.
Yeah.
You know which one I want to go back and rewatch to finish up is Preacher.
I never seen that.
Preacher's a good one. Rogen? It's based on Seth Rogen produced that one, and it's based on a comic. So good.
What was the comic called?
Preacher.
DeLorean.
Preacher, and then what's that other one that came out around that same time? Was it's fucking Xavier, Professor X's son.
Oh, Legion.
Yeah,
I didn't finish that. I got to finish the last season. Yeah, that was good.
That was really good.
Yeah, second season I watched. I didn't finish it. Yeah.
That girl from Parks and Rec, she did such a good job.
The dude from Downton Abbey was awesome. That's Legion. Yeah, that was a good show. That was a really great show. We just showed Atlanta Hellboy the other day.
The original one?
Ron Perlman one? Yeah.
Okay.
That was good.
I haven't watched the new one yet.
I like the original one.
The original was awesome.
Yeah, the original was good.
But I like the new one too with
David Harbour.
David Harbour, yeah. It was different. There's a crazy giant scene where he's fighting giants.
I gotta rewatch that one.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, you gotta watch that series on Netflix, The Brother's Son.
It's about Hellboy?
No, but it's that same kind of like style of like crazy action. Like it's kung fu action type like fucking craziness. It's great. It follows like the story of like some Yakuza type crazy mob and shit, like triad mobs. And one of the sons is super fucking crazy badass assassin, like the deadliest fucking assassin there is. Like killed a guy with broomsticks. He's known across the entire mob worldwide and shit. And he's got a brother in America who's going to be a doctor and loves improv. And it's this like balance of like action and comedy and shit. And it gets gory and fucking crazy. Like they do some crazy fucking death scenes that I'm like, oh shit. It's great. It's awesome.
What's it called again?
The Brother's Son. It's spelled The Brother's Son, but I think they pronounce it Sun.
And it's on what?
Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
Okay.
Yeah. Really fucking great. Crystal couldn't even wait for me to watch it because like I was like, oh, I gotta go to bed. I get to go to work. Watch 3 episodes straight. She went and got all the way to episode 7. And I was like, you watched that many without me? She's like, I didn't have to work. It's like, fuck, you're supposed to watch it with me. You bitch. I'm just kidding. No, I can't say those words.
I said it for
haven't
you.
even been a year in marriage yet. Can't say those words.
You have to wait till
I don't think there's ever a time.
It's like, what is that, Dave Chappelle?
I gotta wait till the second year, baby.
No, it's a Keel and Peele. Where they're like...
Oh, yeah, on the phone.
They're like...
the guys.
And I said...
They're like in the garage and they're hiding out.
They're like hiding in a fucking treehouse. They take a trip to somewhere else. They're like, and I said, beep.
That's funny. No, I don't know what I was gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say because you started saying because I said bitch.
Oh, this fucking Jamaican beer is like growing on me, man. The more I drink it, the more I love it.
Is it making you happy?
It's Jamaican me happy, man.
Would you like another, sir?
I would. I love another.
That's your second one, dude. You're down in these things.
Where you at? Oh, well, I guess you had 3? How many you had?
No, I drink
you had a Bud Light, though.
Yeah, I made one for him.
He made the can thing.
So
yeah. It was a badass little gift. I was like, fuck, I'm going to get one of these. And then I was like, you know what? I bet Pete would love this too.
Yeah. I don't. I'm just kidding.
My brother was asking me if Echo was fine to watch with his daughter. I'm like, yeah, it's just violence.
Yeah, kids have seen worse.
There's nothing adult. Like, we usually check back and forth. Like, what's the parents guy say? Yeah, if it's like anything like adult, like sexual stuff like that, or nudity. Because our daughters are like 12 and 14.
Don't watch Saltburn. I'm just
yeah.
No, don't. Holy shit, there's some weird fucking shit that happens in Saltburn, man. I don't even want to fucking tell you.
Yeah,
but there's some of the fucking nastiest scenes I've seen in there that have to do with sexual things.
Ooh.
I don't know. Should I tell you?
No. Well, I'm going to go use the restroom so you can go.
No, I think we're good. Let's do that. We can end it.
You want to end it?
Yeah.
Are we a good time?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, thank you again, Senator Ricky, for joining us.
It was fun. It's always a good time.
It's a pleasure, man. We got to put another sticker on the table for you. Another Star Wars related one. Do
you like your Yoda tribute right there? That's pretty big.
It's old school Yoda too. So
the original puppet.
That's a good one.
I have a little figure statue.
Isn't the puppet falling apart or something like that? Don't they have it in a?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's sad.
Yeah, because it's made out of a material.
A lot of that stuff. Yeah. Like I was just telling you the other day. Was I?
No,
I was telling someone else. I was telling my little brother.
Actually, that was myself.
Like, you can go to the Warner Brothers studio and see the Michael Keaton Batman
suit. Yeah.
The cowl deteriorating because it's all made out of foam and shit.
Yeah, they didn't make it to last. They just made it for the movie.
Especially all the movement around everything. Mm-hmm. Couldn't turn his head.
Couldn't. No. Which is the joke they made in that Flash movie. Where they're like, I can't.
Yeah, dude, but he had a thick neck. Like his traps were all the way to his face, dude.
Yeah.
Like
but you're watching the movie, you don't notice. You can't turn it.
Because they film it that way.
When I was
the original
came out. Oh my gosh. And it had Prince in it too.
But he even moved like that too. Remember when he had to look up and he
had to. He was like,
he
looked up.
He can't really look up. He's got the whole body has to move from his fucking waist.
Nobody thought like, dude, why do we have it connected?
So you've watched Andor, right?
I've only watched the first couple episodes.
Did you get to the prison episodes yet? Or no?
Because my wife couldn't get into it, and I was like, I heard it picks up after this.
It doesn't, but you need to watch it.
Yeah, I feel like I should.
No, but like,
I know.
Remember the beginning of the original Batman '89 movie? The two like addict guys that Batman takes out.
Yes.
Remember they robbed the kid? He's like, the other guy's like, you shouldn't have pulled the gun on the kid. Well, the other guy's like, relax. That guy's an Andor, and he's an old man now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's funny.
I opened up this whole beer.
Well, you can still drink it, man. You only drink on camera? Oh, there you go. I thought you were going to down it, man.
Well, I can try.
Let's see. How much can you get? Go. I'll finish mine. Go.
Don't try it.
But it's so good. Oh, he actually almost did.
Almost did it.
He actually almost finished it.
Pretty good.
It's not exactly 12 ounces, though.
I could finish it right now, though.
Do it.
I just like the shape of these. Like they're...
It's a lot of carbonation in my...
It is a lot of carbonation.
In my belly. Get in my belly. But yeah. I think we got it. I think we got something. We got it. We got it done, man. We did it. We accomplished.
Fix it in post.
We accomplished the goal.
And with the beer done, this has been another fabulous episode of Digital Cortex.
Is that crickets? Like,
Jesus. I have been Thickwick this whole time. Randomstylez.
The whole time? Not part of the time?
Thank you again, Senator Ricky. You're always welcome here.
I've been Jar Jar Binks part of the time.
Yeah. We've been different things.
So it's just Senator Ricky? That's
Yeah.
what you... Okay.
That's who it goes
What
by.
color is your lightsaber?
It's yellow.
Ooh.
What's
Temple Guardian.
That's
Nice.
the crystal name, Temple Guardian.
How many times are we going to end this fucking podcast before we start going on? You're the one who wanted to end it. Do you want to continue or not? Do you want to continue? Because I'm
Just
good.
asking the
He
name.
wants to talk about something.
I don't know.
There's something
No, I
else
was
on
just
there.
asking the name. I was asking the name.
We didn't get to talk about Upgrade.
Oh, Upgrade's so good. Why don't you go use the bathroom?
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about Upgrade.
Do you need to
want
be
it?
somewhere? Is that the thing?
No. I'm fine. I just felt like we were at.
Do
we
you
were
need
at
to
an
be
end.
somewhere?
No, get the man
Well, the
another
fuck we
beer.
don't even fucking need to be
All
anywhere.
right, we'll keep going then.
Just fucking keep going.
He down it for nothing.
I ain't done for nothing.
I'll get him another
I don't
one.
got to drive home today. I plan to live here. Jesus, I might need to use the bathroom after him. Maybe I shouldn't have another beer.
Oh, you got it, dude.
So one thing I'm gonna do tomorrow. Me and my wife have been trying to find something nice to do. Excuse me. Jesus. Nice, dude. Should have got that on camera. That was cool.
Hey. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Yummy.
So, I just recently read about this place. It is the Lavender Farm Chateau. And it's got a little bit of a longer name. Basically, it's this restored mansion house. Okay?
Yeah.
And you should take a look at it. I'll put like a picture up of it too. Like Lost. Whatever fucking... What are we at? 207? But it's this restored like mansion, and they have like guided tours for $20, but you can go there. It's in Chandler, I want to say. It's on the south side of it all, so it's like really close to the 202 in Ahwatukee.
It's an old mansion.
Yeah, it's called the Lavender Farm Mansion. So tomorrow morning when they open at 9, because they're only open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Beautiful, huge place. The pictures, they look fucking amazing. Some of the architecture and the different things about this place.
We opened another beer, Ricky, by the way.
Yeah,
if you want another.
I mean, no pressure. You guys have to drive, so don't
I'm
feel
fine.
like do
you want
anything.
another? Are you good?
He's still working on his. I got one. It's open. It's new.
No, it's funny.
Oh, what?
I was like,
the shots?
No, I've never.
You want to take another shot?
Not a shot.
Anyway, so tomorrow we're going to go tour this mansion.
Is she gonna pay for the guided tour, or are you just gonna walk through?
I think we're just going to walk through it. We're trying to budget, you know, save a little bit of money. But we haven't done anything like, I had
just
2 weeks off of work for Christmas and New Year's, and we just kind of, now I wouldn't change it for anything because it was great to just relax, sit on the couch every morning and binge watch my TV.
Yeah.
Hang out with the dogs, wake up and go to bed at whatever time I wanted.
Yeah.
But we haven't done an actual date night or something yet. So we're going to go check out this place. It looks romantic as fuck. It looks beautiful as awesomeness. She'll love it because one of the things we usually do when we're on vacation, like last time we went to San Francisco, we like to tour open houses of houses we can never afford.
Oh, that's always fun to do. Though.
It's always fun to do, yeah. So we'll go and look at $1 million fucking houses and shit.
The guy from what's that movie with Paul Rudd and Jason Segel?
Oh, Love You Man?
Love You Man, yeah.
Love You Man?
Remember Jason Segel just walking through mansions? He's like, I could never afford this. He's like, I just look for divorcees.
Yeah. we like doing that. So we've checked out a couple, and it's fun for me because, like, I get to do a little improv that people always ask, oh, what do you do? When we were in San Francisco, I was like, oh, we're going to be moving here soon. I just got a job in the tech industry, and I'm going to be doing some coding and stuff. And
like I'm a full-time
talking
mime.
about, yeah.
I don't know about these windows.
We saw this house in Gilbert, right?
I'm actually a mime. I'm a professional mime. So
yeah, I'm a professional mime. You'd be surprised how much you make a
year. You start doing it.
Did I ever tell you about the...
I actually did take mime class in college.
Did you?
Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah.
You have something in common with Anthony Daniels.
Oh.
He's a mime.
Anthony Daniels.
See, it was part of my movement course.
Is that how you got so stiff? He was, miming?
Yeah, he was a mime. That's why they hired him. Yeah.
I guess you would need somebody that's good at movement, right? Body movement. So that makes sense.
Our instructor was a professional mime and circus clown.
Oh, wow.
And circus clown.
And circus clown.
That's cool. Circus tiger.
Yeah. She taught us how to juggle. And we learned how to juggle using like really light bandanas first kind of like thing. So we would handkerchiefs. So we used like handkerchiefs to learn how to juggle.
Light bandanas.
Then we went to balls.
But did they have anything in them or was it just the bandanas?
It was just handkerchiefs.
He called it light bandana.
Light bandana. Like the weight of it is different,
We had blue ones and we were in Compton, so we were kind of scared.
Then we moved to heavy bandanas.
Heavy bandanas, like the ones
I got an A in that class. I remember my semifinal for that class was lava.
What?
Yeah, we each given. Oh, we had to pull out of a hat something. We had to embody it. So I had to be lava.
How did you do that?
I got on the floor and wiggled around as if I was floating.
Wow.
Because molten lava, it moves kind of slowly like a river.
What year was this?
This was 2010.
So you could have done it a long, long time ago. There was a volcano.
Did you have an explosion at first?
I guess I could have, yeah.
Did you have an explosion at first?
No, because I wasn't a volcano erupting. I was lava flowing.
Just lava.
Yes. And I remember I was playing Halo in my dorm room, and my dorm room, and I guess I could put pictures of this place up too. It was in the middle of San Francisco. We lived on Russian Hill in the neighborhood, and it was a old private mansion that was converted because the school, the Academy of Art University, they would buy up old buildings. So they would convert old hotels, old apartment buildings into dorm rooms. They would buy up old warehouses and convert them into classrooms and stuff like that. So they had bought up this old 1900s, early 1900s mini little mansion. Like there was 3 floors to it. The third floor had a staircase you can only enter from a door, a hidden door. So it was like a hidden staircase. It was a servant staircase. It went all 3 floors plus the basement level, which is where the kitchen was, so that the servants didn't have to take the normal staircase, which just went on the 2 levels. There were 40 kids living in there. Lots of different rooms. The bottom rooms were all men, and there were about 3 to 4 guys per room. And so I had 3 other roommates, and the rooms were huge. Like there was one of our roommates who was like over 6 feet tall, and he would stand on the bunk bed and he could barely like touch the fucking ceiling. It was crazy. So all of my roommates, I was the only acting major there. All of my other roommates were had an illustration major. There was a industrial design major. So they're all working on their final projects and everything for their grades and whatnot. And they're like, I'm over there playing fucking Halo and shit. And they're like, well, what are you doing for your finals? I was like, well, my main acting class is a cold read class. So I'm not going to get the script until the day of the final. My movement class, I have to be lava. So I'm pretty sure I got that down. They were pissed off because I never had to do anything. It was the cheapest major because it didn't require any dues for like labs or equipment or stuff that everyone else had to pay for and shit. So a lot of the time I was just, doing that stuff. Like one of the assignments was to do something in public, but not tell anybody. So me and a couple of other friends in the major, we decided we were going to have a slow motion fight in the middle of
class.
No, it was there's a square in San Francisco. It's like
in public.
Yeah, in public. We had to go to a public spot. So it's right in front of the Macy's building. They usually put an ice rink there, and I'm forgetting what the square is called. But there's a big statue, and it's a very popular area. Yeah, I'll put a picture of it. 215.
And you did a lightsaber fight, right?
Oh, we did a slow motion fist fight. So it was like a slow motion gang fight. So we just like all showed up and we're like, all right, let's go. So we were just all slow motion and we started like brawling. And some of us would like fall down and we would like roll down on the cement and
you guys were doing like Matrix style?
Yeah. But and so people would walk by us and they'd be like, what is this?
What are these weirdos doing?
An art piece. Let's take a picture of them and shit.
Yeah. We're used to weirdos around here.
I know.
Some homeless guy just comes in and starts helping out.
I know. He's like, you're like,
If I was a police officer, I would have totally came up and got handcuffs and be like,
he gets his baton. He's like,
we actually did get stopped because they're like, what are you guys? You can't do this. You can't. What are you doing? Well, we're fighting.
And you're like,
you were like,
run for 1 minute. Cops. I know, right?
It was
you're
ridiculous.
Like,
that's
funny.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing? You're like, I can't. And you say it really slow, dude.
No.
Oh.
We didn't have to
film
film
like you should have.
But you could have played it in fast and then you could have seen how it looked.
I know.
That would have been a good idea.
1.5 speed to...
Can I take a hit of that?
Yeah.
It's the weekend officially for me. I stopped smoking.
I don't know how much left, but try it.
I guess I could run and grab one of my... I need to use the bathroom anyway. I'm going to go grab one of my pens.
All right.
I'll be back. You can keep the conversation going.
No, we're just going to be sitting in silence.
I think we were going to stop.
Yeah.
Now, so Upgrade. What did you like about Upgrade?
Okay, so the dude that was the star.
Yeah.
I thought. Is that where he's from?
Remember, he gets.
It's been years since I watched it.
He gets infected with the dot or whatever.
See, I thought it was Tom Hardy.
You thought Tom Hardy was in that movie?
I thought it was Tom because that guy. I get them confused because that guy's also in Spider-Man: Homecoming, right?
Yeah,
he plays a Shocker and he gets killed.
He gets killed.
Yeah. I always thought that was Tom Hardy, and I thought it was weird that Tom Hardy was in there and in Venom. How is he in both movies? Like,
bring him back.
But yeah, when I was watching, I'm like, that's not like what's this guy's name? I'm like, oh, it's a different dude. Like, okay, I guess it was the guy. Yeah, no, it was awesome. Like, I liked all the. Dan actually saw the trailer and she's like, we need to watch this movie. So then we watched it, and then we watched the trailer after we watched the movie. I'm like, they spoiled everything from the movie. But I liked that guy, the villain guy. I guess he wasn't really a villain, but he was the rich guy.
The awkward tech guy.
Yeah, the awkward tech guy.
Playing with the cloud.
Yeah.
He's like,
No, I like the fight scenes and he just like lay straight up.
The camera angles.
Yeah, the camera angles are awesome on that.
Yeah, because he gets up.
He's like, take over. And he's like, doing all that stuff. Yeah, that was awesome.
It was kind of showing you the switch from regular view to like cyborg or whatever view because he became like enhanced.
Yeah, what was the thing called that was in his neck?
Stem.
Yeah,
so he would talk to Stem every time.
It's like, we need to take off my controls. And he's like, now you've taken off my controls. Now I'm in full control of your body. Make it turn off and on when you want to.
There was some funny parts because he's like, I'm a fucking ninja or something. And then he's like, well, I am not a ninja. He's like, well, while I have enhanced abilities, I am not a ninja, Greg. He's or Gray. His name was Gray.
There was a part where I'm like, when his mom busted him when he walked in. Like, I would have thought the AI would have figured somebody was in the house. But I guess they weren't really thinking about anyone being there. But I thought it was an awesome movie. It reminded me a lot of... what was the other movie? I don't know. I just thought the fight scenes were cool. Like, it was, like, really...
They were gory,
and that guy was a good actor. And, like, he was, like, believable. And I liked the way they did, like... When he was on the ground in that...
when he had a
virtual reality place, yeah.
That was like a freaking. It was like
they have these people with Oculuses on, like
that could be the future.
Yeah,
where people are just using VR nonstop. They don't want to live in the real world, and they're just living in the VR world.
Like fucking what was that book?
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. Yeah,
pretty much.
Ready Player One world.
Pretty much before Ready Player One, though, because this movie came out in 2018. So.
When did Ready Player One came out?
2020 or
no? It was older than that. It was a book first.
20. Whoa, you're talking about the book? I thought you were talking about the movie.
I think the movie came out like 2017.
The book?
Yeah, no, the movie.
Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
No, not 2017.
The movie. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Ready Player One came out in 2017?
Yeah, I remember reading the book and Ready Player 2, so I did both of them.
Yeah, the book came out
2018. Same year.
Same year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure we still have video feeds.
That movie was done
March
by...
19th. Okay,
Ernest Cline. That's the guy who wrote
Ernest Cline, yeah. He's a big Star Wars fan.
Really loved that shit. Yeah. It was good. And his other book, Armada. Have you seen that?
No, I've never.
That was a good one too.
Okay, June.
It kind of like follows the what was that 80s movie? Starfighter?
The Last Starfighter?
The Last Starfighter. It's kind of like that.
His name is Logan Marshall Green.
Who's that?
That's the main actor of Upgrade.
Upgrade. He was good. I like him. He should
Oh, we're talking about Upgrade now.
The tech guy is Harrison Gilbertson.
I like the guns in the hands. That was kind of cool.
The bad guy, Fisk, the one that sneezes the nanobites.
Oh, yeah.
He's Benedict Hardy.
It was funny because when we watched it, like when the rich kid goes into the hospital, I knew it was him the whole time, setting him up.
See, I figured that too. There was a point in the movie I was like,
did you notice?
I bet it was him.
You notice he came in wearing a mask because he knew that other guy shot nanobots out of his face.
Oh,
wait, what?
So you didn't do that? Didn't know that.
It was like
because I've seen this movie 7 times.
Spoilers, at least. You know, I don't know if we got there yet, but like what I didn't get was the twist at the end. That took me by surprise.
Yeah, because you were expecting the tech guy. Like,
I was expecting the tech guy.
Yeah,
but what I didn't expect was
STEM was controlling the tech guy.
That it was STEM the whole time.
See, and if you watch it again, in the beginning when he was talking to the cloud, STEM's telling him what to do.
Yeah, STEM's telling him what to say in the hospital after he gets injured. Yeah, they show that. But what were you saying? Wait, he was wearing a mask?
He was wearing a mask when he went to go visit him in the hospital when he got beat up. But I think he was preparing himself because he might have ran into those other guys that had the nanobots in his nose. So if that guy would have did the nanobots...
no, because nanobots...
But that guy was like... conscious and aware of like all the bad guys.
There would have been no other reason for him to wear the mask.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Like, he didn't like to go out.
It was pre-COVID or anything.
It was more like a germaphobe thing. That's what I got from it. Because those nanobites are so small they could go through the mask.
I guess that's true. You know what? Yeah. They did kind of mention that he was a recluse and everything too.
Yeah, they made him very like...
He didn't like people.
Yeah.
He's not touching anybody. Yeah. He's very like socially awkward, like a tech guy would be. Like it was a lot of that stuff. Yeah. That's what I got from it. But yeah, the nanobite thing, like you were like, oh shit, when he sneezed.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, that's something I need to think about.
Yeah, there's been that technology out, or at least they theorized that it could be out.
No, for sure. And I've seen other things with that technology in place for use before, too. I mean, we can even go as far as, like, Miss Frizzle used that technology before.
Frizzle?
Yeah. Magic School Bus.
Oh, we're talking about Magic School Bus. I'm like,
well, she shuts people down in the Magic School Bus. That's pretty much
who's villain is this?
You've never seen the Magic School Bus?
It's a lot of.
It was
after my time, I guess.
There's a lot of human anatomy kind of stuff. That like she would shrink down and go inside the body, and these are the lungs.
Yeah,
like inner space.
They did that. The school bus could do so many things. It could turn into a rocket ship, and they can explore asteroids, or
like little Einsteins.
Go inside of like microscopic level to see how vinegar is formed and whatnot.
I mean that programming. I mean those cartoons are way better than like Paw Patrol or something. Like,
that's just entertainment.
I love seeing like the look back at Miss Frizzle stuff. Like, you put my kids doing what? Who signed the field trip form for this shit? Ain't nobody need to be going inside my daughter's body.
Wait, what?
That's what that show's like. I didn't watch it.
Wait, what happened?
It's like the look back of like what Magic School Bus would be nowadays. Like Miss Frizzle would be arrested for fucking sure. Like imagine if you were in that class and be like, I don't consent to going inside of this dude's body.
Yeah, why was there a bus inside my nose?
Yeah.
And the whole class explored?
This is kind of like private for all these kids to see my kidneys right now.
Oh, and then you went into a parent.
Like this violates every HEPA.
Yeah. There should be some regulation for Miss Frizzle. Like, did somebody check her fucking credentials? Or like the reverse of it, of like Miss Frizzle is fucking crazy and these kids are like being taught by a fucking like drug addict who's hallucinating or some shit.
We're in his liver right now.
Yeah, what kind of emissions is that bus giving off? Is that
the
diesel?
amount of danger they're in? Like, you know,
you drop diesel inside my son's lungs. Like,
imagine if that kid was homesick, fucking masturbating or some shit.
Oh my
God!
You went to a dark place. Yeah,
some privacy.
You could have just said taking a shit or something.
I guess taking a shit, yeah.
What was
the amount of like 8-year-old girls that would be like, "Oh my God, what is that?"
We're in this iris right now, and he's looking at porn.
Holy shit! That would have been bad. I'm starting to feel everything right now.
It was a children's show.
I know.
I don't know what I'm feeling.
You went dark, Steve.
Have you guys ever watched Fahrenheit 451?
Yeah, well, I read the book.
There was a new one with Michael B. Jordan. It was pretty good. I just watched it the other day.
It was kind of weird. Like
instead of burning books, they're burning servers.
I remember the book so well.
I guess I don't know any of that.
It was a book about the future where there's basically, you've seen this or you've heard this story before, where it's a future where no one's allowed to read books anymore. Yeah. So the firemen, instead of putting out fires, they actually start fires, and they burn books. Yeah. And you would get in trouble if you were found with the book and like a whole thing.
Yeah, you were like a terrorist pretty much if you had a book.
And it's supposed to be set in the future where everybody had TVs, like their whole wall was a TV. And they would describe this TV to you and stuff like that, and you're like, holy shit, the whole wall is a TV. Like it was very descriptive. I remember just being a kid and reading it. It was one of my favorite books.
I don't think I ever read the book.
The book is awesome.
I remember.
And
we got a library card recently so that we could start reading some books.
That would start there.
Read you can do a lot of audiobooks and ebooks through the website.
Yeah,
too.
that's something I like. I've always been more into the audiobooks because I could do it during a commute and stuff, but my commute is so short that there's no need for that anymore.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, we heard that on the mic.
I recently I got the audiobook for the most recent High Republic. The new
That's
one.
the one I was reading too. Yeah, through audio.
Eye of Darkness, and like it's how many hours was it? It was like 15 hours.
15 hour one? That's a good one. That's a thick book.
Yeah, it was a pretty good book. But it took me forever to get through it.
I saw this.
I can read faster than I can listen, so like it was kind of frustrating. But like, if you ever read a Star Wars
audio book, I feel like it's
book,
the opposite. For me, my brain doesn't work like that. Like if I start reading something, I get distracted too easily, and so I start thinking about other things in my brain.
And then you gotta
so my entire brain and me are having a conversation about this other thing that I just read, and I'm still reading though.
And you don't remember any of it.
So now I've got to go back and reread.
Yeah, if you ever do, if you're at the library, if you get the audiobooks, find ones that are narrated by Mark Thompson. He's awesome. They're basically like you're watching a movie. Close your eyes.
I'll have to look into that.
He does voices and stuff.
He does the voices.
Yeah.
One of the things I actually wanted to sign up for recently, I found.
Why are you pointing at me?
Because we talked about this last time, so it reminded me of that moment. Is an audiobook class for voice actors. Because I guess there's a certain style to like reading an audiobook that would be different than doing like, you know, any other voiceover
a play
work.
Or
yeah. So
it's a different skill for sure.
Yeah, because some audiobooks they're just narrating, like reading verbatim the word, and like the Star Wars ones I've listened to, like they're literally like, you know, they're doing the voices and everything.
Yeah.
So
I do declare, Mr.
And you know what? It's true that if you like you find somebody who you enjoy listening to their audiobook, that you'll enjoy listening to the other one. And that's how I found Ernest Cline's second book was because Wesley, what's his name?
Snipes.
No. Shit. He's the guy who played Wesley on Star Trek.
Oh, I was going to say him too, but I didn't know if that's what you're talking about.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, yeah.
Will Wheaton. I'm just getting
I just say Wesley.
Because he played Wesley on Star
Okay.
Trek,
Okay.
Next Generation.
Even I know that. I don't even like Star Trek.
I don't watch Star Trek.
I don't either.
I thought you hate Star Trek.
I do hate Star Trek.
Okay.
You just have to watch Big Bang Theory. They talk about it all the time there too.
I didn't buy a house once because the owner had a Star Trek shrine in it.
Yo, let's go.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
Have you noticed like my
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So I was parked across
For
the street.
everyone else who doesn't know,
I parked across the street and then I was like,
All right, so
You flipped your thing off.
There's a whole fucking story to this. So what this is the curb outside of my house. The numbers is painted there, and on each side is a Star Trek symbol. So
one side Star Trek,
one star Star Trek, one side is
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
what's the other? I didn't see the other side.
It's the Republic symbol, I believe.
I didn't see it. I just saw the
Or
Star
maybe it's all Star Trek.
Trek. It might
No,
be.
wait, I think it's all Star Trek.
It is all Star
because
Trek.
you told me the story of how you got picked.
I don't even remember anymore because I'm high and drunk.
Oh my goodness.
Your wife was here.
You want to tell my story? Go
Yeah,
for it. Dude, I'm excited for this.
She got. I guess there were was there a person in the neighborhood that was
So there was a kid who went door to door,
and he asked what you wanted.
He said we can paint anything.
Yeah, and
I love how I'm just gonna fill in the spots he gets stuck on.
no, I'm not getting stuck, but you're just interjecting. I was just looking for the word. I was trying to say he can paint anything on the curbing, and and she was trying to think of, well, what is he like? And she thought of Star Wars and Star Trek, and she couldn't decide on which one to choose because she didn't know which one he liked more.
Okay, so now I know for sure it's all Star Trek out there.
Yeah.
And here's why. To interject into that story, she was trying to decide on what I like more because she was going to do Star Trek or Star Wars.
Yeah.
And so she asked me, because I didn't know any of this was happening. So she texts me and she says, what do you like more, Star Trek or Star Wars? And I said, both. I kind of like them both. It's just like if you had to pick one. I was like, well, it's really hard because, and I went on a tangent. And I said, Star Wars is like cowboys in space. It's action. It's fun. It's engaging. There's this whole mystical storyline. We're following the, hero storyline, the main hero's journey storyline. Yes, thank you. And to the letter, like, that's a film that's taught in fucking school. But Star Trek is so fucking interesting to me because it doesn't just have the action, the adventure, and everything, but it's about a society that has found peace in itself and has decided to spread its diplomatic, self across the universe, to reach out, to talk, to communicate, to make friends.
And fight.
With the rest of society, right? And so that's the idea of Starfleet, is we're going to go out and we're explorers, we're adventurers, we're scientists. We're not here to wage war. We're not here to do anything like that. And we're
emotionalists.
Yeah, well, so the thing with them is that, they can fight because you don't know what you're going to find. Like, they can't interfere with a planet that is not at a specific level of evolution yet.
You know the deep story because you've watched a lot of episodes.
I have seen a lot of episodes. So to me, Star Trek has this more grounded approach to where we would be if our technology and our race advanced that far. To reach out into the stars, how would we do it? first, the only way we would do it is if we became a peaceful society. So it looks at like this whole total idea of like, we have created peace. How do we govern ourselves out there, reaching out to other planets, to other people? How do we interact? So there's this whole like government, this branch of rules and regulations, and there's so much detail into that entire world. It's built out so vastly that it's not just about like good versus evil, basic hero's journey storyline. Let me follow my protagonist that way. It becomes more of like a story of humanity's struggle through finding things. And the way that they have made this entire universe be part of one continuous timeline here has always stood out to me. And I wrote all this fucking shit in a text message. And so she went with Star Trek.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought I remember the story is that she put both. Because I think I asked you
just as deeply about Star Wars. You know, there's that hero's journey, the action, the adventure, the feeling, the amount of idea of.
I feel like we have to look
of emotion and the childhood nostalgia that comes with Star Wars.
Because the story I remember,
there's nothing more fun than Star Wars.
He has to put the picture of his address on the.
You can blur out
that now.
You can blur out
the numbers. Yeah, I guess I could.
But it's all Star Trek, I think.
Okay, what?
Yeah, I'll just take pictures of the actual things.
Did the hour?
Oh, you want me to write that?
I do. I do like the concept. I do like the concept of Star Trek, where like, yeah, it's a future society and kind of Earth kind of banded together, but I just think it's executed so poorly.
It was. I don't know. Maybe it also has to come from like the theatrical
Zack
part of me.
Snyder needs a director.
You didn't like Watchmen?
That's one of the best.
Zack Snyder?
That's one of the best graphic novels I've ever read,
dude,
in my entire life.
Watchmen was ahead of its time. Watch it again. It was great.
He changed the ending, and he took out major components of that story.
I'm fine with that.
Because Alan Moore did such a great job on that book.
I know, but
Alan Moore is great.
I like when they change things for the audience, because then it becomes becomes too predictable. They had to do the same thing.
Why change a great story though?
Yes. I understand both of your views. This is so interesting
because we talked about Walking Dead.
We don't usually get to do this,
which was horrible the first season. Oh my God.
No, but they had to do the same thing because people were predicting what was going to happen, and they had to change.
No, they didn't have an ending for Walking Dead yet when the first
Walking Dead was a little bit different.
No, but I'm saying as the show went on, I remember that talking to Robert Kirkman, and he was like, we changing things as we go. It's not going to be as the graphic novel that we're writing right now.
Yes, but the thing is that the writers did not go outside of his image. And his image, being a human being, decided to say...
Oh, not an alien?
No, not an alien. Or a lizard person.
It's funny that he said
he's not real. This dude's not real.
Or a machine.
But just the conscious state of being a person, okay, and an artist. If you write something, right, and we talked about this before, there was a point where he said in an interview, too, that, like, having the opportunity to write for the TV show, let me take my characters... Let me take my characters and my creation and my story and change it to the things that would be better. So,
because
like,
he had already did the book. So
he already did the books. He wrote all these stories. He gets to do things that hindered him. So think about it this way: he wanted to write the book. He wrote the book. He did a thing with Rick. Okay, yeah. Rick Grimes. Early on in the books, like right away, Rick loses his hand. Yeah. He loses his arm. Yeah, he's got no ability here. He becomes a one-handed individual. And not only that, he lost like his dominant hand, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
So in the book, while he was writing it, he thought to himself like, oh, fuck.
I painted myself in a corner.
This guy now has to relearn how to become a dominant arm on a whole different thing. and he's got one arm. So I can't really have him climbing up a rope, for example. Yeah. Because how the fuck is this one-armed individual going to climb up a rope? So I have eliminated all of these possibilities that this character can have. He can't dangle from a roof and shoot you at the same time. Because he only has the one hand.
Which is important.
But it's a component of like, now I'm making this for film.
Yes. And so I could take my story, the thing I've written, and I could look back at the things that have stopped me from doing parts of where my imagination was going at the time, and I can explore those ideas as
I wish
artist.
I would have did more things with Shane.
That's totally different than what they did with Watchmen, which is like just abruptly change the storyline, and what they do with most comic book films. So I see your point of it. Like,
no, you're just
I don't want to be a person who wants to go see this movie and can look on the internet and see how it ends.
You're talking about the first season. But we also have
the point of...
Because going forward, they were still making new books, and they were still saying...
they were so far ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, and they did each season.
So going forward, they were getting closer and closer to the books, but they were
not.
It was still closer than it was before.
Storylines from the different seasons of books. So the way the comic books come out, they come out in story arcs. All right. So as an avid comic book reader, when you have these major story arcs, that's what the seasons did. Each season followed a different story arc that would come out in the comic. When you're reading the comic from a fanboy perspective, I have this material, I'm reading it, and this is my story arc, and I love this story.
Perfect.
And it's perfect the way it was written, and I love the way it was written. And yes, I would love to fucking see this live action. So there's that idea of it coming out. And then there's the idea of the person who's never heard of the comic or read the book or explored that feeling of nostalgia from reading that entire story arc that you couldn't just read in one sitting. Like when you're collecting comic books, you're reading this shit weekly as they come out.
For a show, you need a big finale.
Yes, and you need a big finale, and the story arc ends in a big finale, and it's an entire novella that takes like a fucking year to happen.
The books and comics are never going to live up. I mean, are never going to be comparable to movies.
No, and this is the problem, and that's the problem that he pointed out earlier, which brings me back to my point that started like fucking over 20 goddamn minutes ago, was that there's two different perspectives here. And from my fucking viewing angle, seeing both of you, one on each side of me, seeing it from the person who knows that this is an adaptation of something, but then seeing it from the person who's like, I know how that entire story went, and I wanted to see it live out the way it lived out in my brain when I read it that time. Like, that's the big point where people get pissed off that, they changed things. They left this out. This was a huge emotional story arc from my childhood that's just like not even existent here. And people are on the other side are like, well, yeah, but I don't see the point of why that mattered. It was still great on its own. And yes, it is. But we're also losing that factor of the other people who want to see that entire story lived out in front of them. Did I make any sense?
Yeah, because they do have to make it more palatable to the wider audience.
Yes,
and usually
they do.
Comic books are more niche, and we're more used to seeing absurd things like a giant monster at the end of it.
So you see it from the idea of like, hey, that seems cool. People like that. Let me make that into a movie. But we see it, and we want to see it as like, verbatim. Hey, we loved this. This is awesome.
I want to share this with the world.
If I was to have it in the movie, I want to see this, but I want to see people acting it out for me. I want to go to a play and watch all of this happen the same way that it happened when I read it.
It's not going.
It's not. No, because we are a minority in that sense.
No, but I'm saying,
and we need to make these movies for a bigger, larger audience. So we have to captivate a different realm of it. So and the audience doesn't want to know how this stuff ended, and it ended 10 years ago when we read it. So yeah, I get your point. It makes valid sense that like, well, no, they can't adapt from that. We're giving away too much of what happened. We need to take a creative liberty. That stuff happened in the fucking 80s. That's not relevant now. We need to adapt it. I get that. And I appreciate it, in certain aspects. And then I get your point of like, I read this whole thing and this is how it went and this is exactly what I wanted to see and I didn't get that and it upsets me. Like I've said this before on Blue Beetle. You know, when the Blue Beetle movie came out and the voice was just an AI that was generated in his head, you know, but every single way I've imagined it and the way I've heard it in the animation and everything that I've loved about Blue Beetle, that voice is him. It's not its separate voice. It's his voice, but with a different person speaking through his voice, because that's what the Beetle was. It was a synopsis of like a whole different conscious AI that only knew how to speak using the voice that it can pull from and learn language from its host. And so that is one of the things, like I looked at Blue Beetle and I was like, I didn't love that they made that choice to make it this robotic person, because it wasn't. It was like a very functional AI that kind of had AI mind of its own. Like it can contribute itself. It wasn't like a robotic command line AI that was like program sentences like a Google Assistant or some shit.
The original was more spiritual.
It felt more integrated into the stuff. That's one of the things I didn't like about it. So I'm going on that tangent. I see your point.
I didn't like Blue Beetle at all.
There was a lot of things that I liked about it. I love that they brought him to the screen finally. Yeah. But again, I get your point of like, it's not the way I would have loved to see Blue Beetle from the pages of my comic
being
books.
Like a geek or nerd from back then reading comics, like we read these books and comics, we love them.
Yes.
And we want like, why isn't everybody reading this? Because this is awesome. This is perfect. I want this person that's never read a book to know the story. I'm like, cool, they're making it a movie so that way this person can see it. Oh, they changed the ending.
The share factor. When you have a friend and you're like, hey, bro, watch this thing I saw on Netflix the other day. It was great. The same fucking way we're doing here. When those movies come out, and they change up the way that it was originally done for us, it's like this whole FU from the studios and these movie makers.
What we liked isn't good enough.
Yeah,
we had to make it for normal people.
I'm fine if
you had to rip parts of it out of it.
I'm fine if it's a good movie. Like I don't care.
No, and that's my point. You have that mindset of like it's a good movie, and from a person who's been studied that industry, like I get that point, and it's a so valid point. And there's a lot of things that I do appreciate about it.
Because I've never been the person.
But if we look at the person who.
Because I've read stuff.
Opposite side of the fence.
I've read stuff that I know that it should end like this, but I'm okay if it doesn't. Like I've never been a person that was like, "You didn't do that right.
But sometimes
you didn't follow the book."
Like you're watching a
There's just two different kind of people. There's people that want to see exactly what was on the page, and you put that in the goddamn movie, or I'm not watching it. And there's people that will complain, and there's always the very close knit niche of people that know the storyline already in very much detail, as much as a director would know, or even more.
But the thing is, sometimes they'll put these directors who don't know, or they decide that this is my moment to try to make my mark, and let me change.
Yeah, and those movies don't work, and you can see when a real comic nerd puts his spin on it, like James Gunn. Like he really is.
Definitely, yes. No, and I agree to that point. So that's the middle ground. Yeah. That's the fucking middle ground.
When you get a director like that, he is making changes. He's not doing exactly the comics way.
That's not every movie, but we're talking about
But he puts his own flair on it, and then he still stays close to the main parts of the story. But it's in a comic. It's in a very comic book like genre way.
No, fucking definitely. When the fans become movie creators, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen this, just as you said, James Gunn, Dave Filoni. What's the other Dave? No, the other
Ayers.
Guy. Ayers.
I know Ayers was really into comics.
Even Kevin fucking Smith.
Kevin Smith's very into comics.
Mm-hmm.
Even Lindelof and them, like they...
so when you got the people who appreciate it from that viewpoint, and they can come out and have that vision of it,
are definitely doing better at learning their parts. They'll get all the comics and start reading them just so they have them.
But then there's also the people who far too much on the filmmaker side and will fuck that shit up like they did with fucking Arrow.
You didn't like the show?
No. There's just certain parts about that show that just
Dude, what'd you think about? Oh wait, I was gonna say, what'd you think about Daredevil? But you
didn't watch Daredevil.
I watched the Netflix Daredevil, which I appreciated way more than the movie Daredevil.
I was gonna say, what did you think about Daredevil and Echo? But you didn't. You didn't see. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah.
Didn't see that. What's the last time I seen Daredevil? It was in She-Hulk.
No, I don't think it's a.
Daredevil was in She-Hulk.
I was shocked watching it,
but you're not gonna know when. Yeah.
But it makes fucking total sense because he's Hell's Kitchen. He's in that area.
Yeah,
that's why that show's so awesome because it's basically the Netflix show.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You know what? But I'm so far behind on the Netflix stuff.
You don't have to watch
Daredevil season 1, season 2, maybe season 3.
No.
Jessica Jones and part of what's the dude's name?
The blonde guy.
No.
Oh.
The other
Luke
dude.
Cage?
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage is awesome. Yeah.
Yes. I've seen up to the last couple episodes of the first season.
Did you watch?
I didn't because I didn't watch fucking Iron Fist, which I heard was shitty. So I guess subconsciously I've stopped myself from doing it.
Yeah. Was it Iron Fist or Luke Cage that got the lowest rating?
Iron Fist.
Yeah. No, the best one was honestly, it's really my favorite actually. No. What? I honestly prefer Jessica Jones. If I had to pick one, like if I was stuck on an island, yes.
Punisher.
Tenet is such a good.
I didn't finish Punisher.
I didn't watch it at all.
Oh my god, he hasn't watched Punisher. Oh my god.
So, but if I was stuck on an island and I had to pick between season 1 of Daredevil or season 1 of Jessica Jones, I would pick Jessica Jones.
Where's the heartbreak button?
Oh, those characters. No, I just love that shit.
Going back to the changes, like sometimes when they do change, it's like you love this material. It kind of feels like if they made a Nirvana documentary and in the end, Kurt Cobain lives. That's how sometimes it.
That's how it feels. That's how it feels. Yes. I'm sorry to. I went on a tangent. Yeah. I'm drunk as fuck now. I'm also a little bit high.
This is exactly what.
This is what we needed.
What's his name does? Fucking.
Drink champs.
No, the dude that just did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, the director. God, what the heck is his name?
Quentin
Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, he's doing these pieces that are changing history, like where they actually kill Hitler.
Yeah, I don't like any of his movies.
And
I get that one. Okay,
you know you're going into it as it's his version of history.
Well, actually, what he'll do is follow a lot of things really closely.
But you know that it's like the Tarantino.
What he'll usually do is follow. You'll follow it close to history, and then you'll take that divergent.
Yeah. Like
the divergent. Yeah.
The Manson.
Like the Manson one.
Yeah.
Kids were supposed to kill the.
But the idea that he does it is because now. That's where he stops. That's where he stops the world.
Yeah.
So he's told you the world, the history that you know up to then, and then he's left that door open for what could be.
Dude, he was getting standing ovations, man.
So there's a reason that he does it. It's a definite specific style of doing it.
He's a master of the art.
Bruce Lee fans did not like that movie.
And the idea,
that's one thing.
The idea of it though is that when you go into his historical pieces like that too, we don't know where it's going to diverge. Yeah. Like for the last one for the Manson, that went so far into it before we got to a point where it diverged, and when it did it in the most Quarantino fucking way possible. But
you know that controversy, right, about Bruce Lee?
What?
About how he was a dick. Like pretty much he was an asshole in Once Upon a Time. Like he's challenging people. He gets into a fight with the stuntman.
Yeah.
And Tarantino had to clear things up.
Yeah.
Because people were like, that's not right. You shouldn't have made him look like that, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, dude,
got defeated.
I've talked to stuntmen that worked with him and he wouldn't pull his punches. Like if he's supposed to punch you in the face, he's hitting you for real.
Yeah.
And like these stuntmen, there are certain stuntmen that wouldn't work with him because he was doing that. Like they had a bad experience on a film, he's really kicking them and shit. Like Bruce Lee hits hard, like
there's a story that Jackie Chan tells, and he said that it was one of his first films that he got hired on. and he had a scene with Bruce Lee. I forgot what Bruce Lee movie it was, but he kicked him so hard he flew across the room. And as soon as they said cut, Bruce Lee ran over to him like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you okay?" And Jackie Chan, being a proud guy, he's like,
"I'm fine.
Oh, I'm fine." You know, he's like, because if you don't say you're fine, okay, you're gonna put somebody else in here. So he's like, "I gotta work." So I said, "I'm fine." So every time he did a scene, he'd get hurt, he'd get up, "I'm fine." Bruce Lee came running over, like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, it hurts so bad now." You know, it hurts so bad. And like, because Bruce Lee was like, "Oh, it's fine. You know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kick you that bad." You know, but then Bruce Lee started hiring him for every other movie because he knew he could hit this guy.
Yeah,
and
because he could take the hits.
Yeah, but I think they made him a little bit more rude in the movie. And then plus, there's no way he would have defeated Bruce Lee.
Dude, that's something I want to do is rewatch a lot of these older Jackie Chan stuff. Like the stuff before he became an American film star.
Yeah.
Like those movies are great. They're so fun.
You're talking about Jackie Chan?
Yeah,
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, dude, I've seen some of his old when he was like young.
Chinese Connection.
And one of the reasons these movies are so good, and it just doesn't come from like an actor point or the martial arts point, but it's the way that they film the movies. So in an American film, when they film an action scene, like you see the punch, right? Yeah. And then you immediately have the cut of me getting punched at the same time. Or the face after the punch, because we saw the punch already. So we see the punch, cut scene, pick up scene from a different angle. We're getting punched, right? Yeah. But the way that the film is done for Jackie Chan fight movies and that type of genre of movies is that they will do the punch one way, change scene, and they'll redo the punch a different way, and they'll cut it so you see
him moving in real time.
Moving in real time for each scene instead of one seamless scene, which is how American movies or action movies were filmed.
That's why John Woo movies are so good.
Yeah, that's why. That idea of it is that now you are more immersed in it, and this is the same way that we see so much fucking awesome shit in animation because it's done that same way. Like that classic shot of like, I'm punching you with super awesome punch. And then it's like, ba, ba, ba. And they show it to you in like 4 different camera angles of the villain getting punched through and through and through and through.
The part that gets me is...
And so you become more immersed in it as like an audience member.
The part that gets me is when they're flying forever. Like,
well, that was the type
That's the same idea.
No, I'm talking about an anime.
Oh, yeah. No, but that's the point.
The long kicks. They're
well, that's why. It's because like they're flying and they'll switch the camera angle of it.
But that's all an anime
it's still
thing.
The same thing. And we're seeing like stop motion bits of it because now it's not just about that there's action. It's about how that action proceeds.
Well, you know how the John Wick style started, right? Is the director, he was the action director for a lot of films, so he's
a stuntman.
And he's a stuntman.
I've heard this story, so let me take this opportunity to use the bathroom.
So he was the stunt director for a lot of action movies. So basically what that means is, you know, those car chases where they're showing the cars going down the street or whatever. The actors don't need to be there for that. You know, that's just for the stunts. So he would come in and film all that stuff. And he would film the fight scenes and everything that the actors are not in and whatnot. But
it's only Tarantino that does that and puts Uma Thurman in the car when it crashes.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. But I mean, she's fine, right?
and then
are you talking about for like Pulp Fiction or what?
I forget what. I think it was for Kill Bill.
Or Kill Bill.
Movies. Okay. Yeah. She got injured really bad on one of the sets or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these guys.
And that's like the guy from John Wick. He like.
She wanted to be in the car though, right?
You know what angles that you want to do.
Well, no. This is what I was getting to with John Wick is that they started as these action directors, and then they decided to make their own movie, and then they branched off and they wrote it, and then the way they wrote it was from a stuntman's point of view. Yeah. They were like, if you could make a movie, what would you have in it? Because they know all the fight scenes and everything, all the best parts of the movie.
They know what they can do.
So they pieced it together, and it's funny because they didn't really have that much back story for the Continental. They're just like, we need like some kind of place
which was
that
they
go to.
A lot of times, like that's how they made like the Bruce Lee films and stuff of that genre. Like you had the athletic person, and they're like, well, I can do this, and they shouldn't be doing that. Okay, well, we'll build a story around.
Well, see, the thing is that it was their project. They're the only ones that are really backing this. Nobody's giving them very much money for the film because they don't believe in it that much. Because they pitched it, and they asked Keanu to do it because they were friends with him. Because the director, he started as the stuntman for Keanu in The Matrix. Yeah. So every time, Keanu's flying through the air, it was him flying through the air, and they worked together for years because they did 3 movies. So when it came time to make a movie, he called him up. He's like, yeah, dude, I'll do it. Yeah. He's like, I'll fucking do your movie. Like, Keanu's the man. Because, dude, there was nothing that said this was going to be a hit.
He also played the dolphin in Johnny Mnemonic. Yeah.
Johnny, he was a dolphin. I was like, wait, what?
No, he did do something really.
He was the cat in.
Yes, the cat in the. He played Keanu.
Yeah. Jordan Peele called him up and he's like, "Would you do it?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, I'll do it." Keanu's a man.
Yeah, that guy's so cool.
Yeah, and he lended his voice for
What's that actress name?
Well, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
So anyways, the director called him up, did the movie got him to do it, and they didn't have a very big budget, so he had to shoot everything all at once. So it became more of a dance. So the fight scenes are they're memorized as a dance. They know who's going to come here, flip, and do this and that, and they would practice it over and over again because they knew they were going to have a lot of shooting time. So they couldn't do the cutscenes.
Right. They couldn't just be like, let's take that from a different angle and move around.
They didn't have the time to set up and do another scene of them getting hit.
They shot one continuous flow.
And now
it's like that hallway scene in Daredevil.
Yes.
So
but all that hallway scene is pulled from
all these movies are taken from Wick now because he did it that way because he didn't have the time or the money. But now all these, even when you watch John Reacher and Ryan,
Jack Reacher is great.
Yeah, Jack,
the Prime series. Dude, if you haven't watched that, it's great. Go on.
But yeah, so now all these action movies want to be John Wick. I mean, everybody is doing the one action, the one move,
and that's why I said,
and that's how the scene is an Echo too. Right? It's just one continuous and they're fighting and getting thrown around. Like and it looks really good. Like their fight scene looks awesome.
And they did it, like he said, in Daredevil. Yeah, and that's how the fight scenes and there's a lot of them in this TV show I was telling you about, the Brothers Soon.
They're doing it like that too.
Watch it, bro. That's totally up your alley. If I ever recommended anything to you, it's that. Please check it out.
Sun?
S-U-N, yeah.
Or S-Y-U-N?
You'll find it. It's probably one of the most watched things on Netflix right now. Because it's got some heavy the actress in it is she was just in that multiverse movie that came out the same time Doctor Strange came out. No.
Spider-Man?
No. It wasn't a comic book movie.
Oh,
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the lady.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's her name? Gosh, she won an Emmy.
I know she won an Emmy. I'm telling you, it's a fucking good show.
She won an Oscar, did she?
Yeah, she's great.
Did she?
Yeah, she won an Oscar for that movie.
Yeah. Okay. From Crouching Tiger, right?
Hidden Dragon?
Yeah, that too.
She was in there.
There's no other Crouching Tiger. You don't have to say
dude, I saw that movie in theaters because me and Crystal had a multiverse marathon. We did a double feature. And we saw Doctor Strange, and then we saw Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Bobby, I know a story of Bobby Lee meeting her, and he came up to her, and they were sitting at the same dining table because they were at an award show for I don't remember. It was in another country. I think it was in Japan, and she was there, and he tried to make a joke, and he was like, "How did you do all the jumping around? Can I learn how to do that?" The running in the air.
Yeah.
And then she just looked at him straight face and she's like, that was what's it called? Wire work or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, oh yeah. Yeah. He was just trying to be funny and be like, can you teach me how to run through the air? And she was like, that was all wire work. You know that, right? And she was super upset about it. There's a lot of
flying karate, kung fu and stuff movies from the 70s where they were dancing on poles and jumping around and flying.
That's kind of
it was kind of a callback to those kind of movies.
Who else did it too was Shang-Chi.
Oh,
yeah.
Remember
Well, like Man with Iron Fist too. That's what he.
the whole fight scene with the mother and the father. Remember, she's like outpowering.
Michelle Yeoh.
Even though
is that her name?
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
Fucking great actress. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
She is. She is.
I think we're done.
Yeah. Are we done? I feel like we're just getting started.
When you start doing
this is the show that never ends.
Hey.
All right. I mean, we are at like fucking 3 hours. This is probably our longest episode.
One of the longest, for sure.
But I was enjoying myself, man.
No, it was good. It was a good time, dude.
I was like picturing the future of this.
We should keep going, man.
This fucking show based on this episode.
You got 2 weeks.
A show based on this episode?
Yeah.
We go pick up your bike and then we go
like this is the episode that's gonna put us on the fucking map.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Paper map.
What's up, y'all?
I feel good.
Yeah.
We're gonna be number 1 on MySpace.
Well, yeah, we know you feel good. Look, 1, feel
I haven't
good.
finished my beer
2,
yet.
feel good. 3, feel goods. We know you feel good.
4th one down.
Oh, and some trace, some buffalo
I don't know
trace.
if I'll put it in there, but I got the double blinker earlier.
Oh, let me try that. I'll do it as an ending. While you do your go ahead and
Digital
close it
Cortex. This has been Thick Wick the whole time. Randomstylez.
Yeah.
And from the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast.
You did it.
Senator Ricky. Thank you so much.
It was a good time.
Again, always come back, man. Whenever you're in town, just stop on by. We're happy to have you.
He's always in town.
Yeah.
He's always in town. We all live in the same town. Digital Cortex, we're done.
Later.
Peace out. Bye-bye.
Later. I always get the last. Later, okay?
Yeah.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Later. I'm just kidding.
It doesn't end. It just keeps going and going and going.
All right.